Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
No.
3 guys and a bear.
Who's absorbent and yellow and porous is he?
3 guys and a bear. I'm into this. I'm ready.
Who? I don't remember the next part. It's been many, many years.
3 guys and a bear.
It's
And
so
then other
upsetting.
things happen and fish and stuff.
3 guys and a bear.
3 guys and a bear.
3 guys and a bear.
3 guys
And a bear.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. What
Wanted to change
pissed
it
me
up.
off the most about that was that you could have just like improv literally anything, like just said football words or something.
Yeah, you could have been.
But then you just started singing the song and then proceeded to forget the song.
Well, I didn't really expect the reaction to be so
That's
positive.
true.
I got so excited. I love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just like,
I thought I was
I
gonna
had,
have
like-
to pivot.
I had like brand worry. Like I felt like a brand for once. I was like, have we ever done this before? Are we gonna lose like brand recognition?
He sings the Star Wars
Yeah, he
theme at
sings
the end of every
No,
episode.
I just meant that
Literally
like
copied
this.
the Monday Night Football.
I know, but this is now the first episode without the Monday night theme, right? Or at
That's
least
a
in a
good
while.
point. That's true. I
Ah,
don't know,
the
last time,
algorithm detector is
Oh, geez.
something's changed.
Or it'll be like, yo,
point.
thank God something's changed. Promote this.
They also have no idea why you were singing SpongeBob. You only did that because of a joke that was made 3 seconds before we
Well, that's why he
started.
did it.
I was
Yeah.
planning on asking Krendor to repeat his Mr. Krabs impression, but then he got me so excited about doing the theme, I had to lean into it.
Yeah.
Order me money.
Well,
It's so good.
yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah. I've got a wide variety of voice inflection.
I don't.
Flux. I mean,
Influx,
I actually can
yeah.
do a decent amount. I can do Meatwad, Aquatine. Well.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
Not as good as the Mr. Krabs.
That's a pretty good meat rod. That's
Dude, you know, I expect that the average age of the podcast listeners are about our age, but I would
think so, yes.
imagine that there are a lot of people that are like, "What the fuck are they
Nah,
talking about?"
They're all our age, like not late 30s.
They're
Jesus
all
Christ.
us.
They're all
Yeah.
like 30. They watch.
They're
Aqua
exactly
Teen.
Gotta be ours
us.
at 30.
Who wasn't staying up late at night watching Aqua Teen and then
Exactly.
those weird like in the middle cards for Adult Swim? Like
I don't know. You'd
Kappa
be
Escort.
surprised. Has anyone ever looked at our demographic information? on
No, of
YouTube?
course
I
not.
mean,
you really think that we have the Zoomer market cornered,
we
Rob?
definitely not.
Oh, dude, Zoomers love sports. That's the thing that I
One
know.
thing I know is that the Zoomers love American football.
Big time.
And all things America, really.
If you had to
Yeah.
pick a Zoomer thing, I
know.
feel like basketball is the most Zoomer thing. And I
Basketball.
feel
I can
like
see that,
they don't
yeah.
need
Well,
the kids these
I mean,
days,
I
they
don't
don't
know.
even pick a team. They just follow the superstars wherever they go.
Isn't the like okay? Now I'm gonna be showing my ass here, so I apologize
Okay,
in
great.
advance.
Bro, please.
But I'm just gonna say that isn't the like broccoli head haircut super popular among the Zoomer generation, and
Yes.
that is a result of Patrick Mahomes winning. The
I don't
Super
know if
Bowl.
it's a result of Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, he was the big dude that he was the main guy that had the broccoli haircut.
He was the broccoli
originally.
man.
Yeah,
Hold
and,
on.
then I saw all the
I
broccoli.
don't
and
know.
then
Like I
I've
didn't know it was
heard-
even called a broccoli.
I didn't either.
Oh yeah, dude! I've heard that kids are like getting perms and shit to make it fully broccolified.
I have
you
heard
know?
that as well, yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
It's
like
like
the phrase
the-
fully broccolified.
Because like you go to the place where everybody's getting perm, it's either like 80-year-old women or like 18-year-olds,
right. Yeah, exactly.
which is pretty insane. But
I
guess
just
what?
got. No, you go ahead, please.
I was gonna say when they hit 30, then they'll be the weird ones.
Can I be honest with you guys?
It'll happen to you.
I have no fucking clue what a perm is. Like I know what it does. I don't know what it is though, and I'm scared to
it's-
find out. Like I think
It's
it's,
a
some
chemical burn. It burns your hair into curls.
and you
Oh.
know that's probably why I didn't want to know. That's worse than I thought.
I actually
Honestly,
didn't know that either.
I mean, I could very much be wrong.
it'd be very funny if you just made that up. I'd believe you.
He said
Yeah,
it
hold
with
on.
confidence. He's gotta
Conviction.
be right.
perm. I'm gonna look it up. What is a perm?
I just keep hearing Chris Collinsworth in my head go, now he's been fully broccolified.
This guy's been broccolified, and let me tell you what, Patrick Mahomes has done it again.
You've reminded me. Thank God the Chiefs-Eagles game is Monday night and not Sunday night.
Oh
Jesus
yeah, very
Christ.
true.
Although Troy Aikman is like a Chris Collinsworth light, he does get a little bit annoying, but
He's not
it's
as
fine.
bad.
I
He's just
could-
more
not as
like,
bad.
I'll tell you what, Joe. Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
He doesn't even say anything after. Just
That's all.
Troy,
That is pretty common, actually.
are you
He
there,
seems
Troy?
on the
I'll
sauce
tell
a
you
lot.
what, we need to get Troy and Al together, dude. That would be the worst.
Oh, dude,
fucking
Troy
broadcast
and
of
Chris
all time.
Collinsworth together in the same booth.
Oh God!
Oh, my
tell
God.
you what, here's a guy.
Don't put that evil in the world. Oh, by the way, if you're curious about the perms, according to Wikipedia, perms may be applied using thermal or chemical means. So
Oh, okay.
All right. Anyway, welcome back to Three Guys in a Perm. Today we're talking about the new broccoli hairstyle sweeping the nation.
Goes away? Does it?
I would actually love
I don't know.
if all the announcers had to like mix and match every like week. You just
Their
start throwing
hairstyles.
Oh, I like
their
that.
hairstyles plus just working together. Like this week we get Chris Collinsworth and Troy Aikman. Next week we get Al Michaels and
The
fucking
random draw.
yeah, just like
Yeah,
Booger
yeah,
McFarlane.
Mix the networks.
I love Al Michaels. He's a fucking legend. He's the
Yeah.
goat. But my
Yeah.
God, can
He's
I
done.
not? I
He doesn't give a
gotta
shit.
stop.
Just-
man.
I mean, he's cashing a big fucking check, I'm sure, but also it's
yeah.
like the poor guy has to do goddamn Thursday night football to close out his
Fair.
career. It sucks.
It really
And
is the
shockingly,
graveyard
Thursday
of the
night
NFL.
football was not the worst game this week, nor was it the second worst game.
Yeah,
this week.
goddamn.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, he also has to cast some of the worst football games of the week.
Hey, he's got a good one this week. All right,
That's true.
Bengals
He does.
Ravens.
Okay, that's he must be fucking thanking his lucky
He's
stars.
he's like he's gonna come in way more excited. Like finally, after all these years.
It is actually, it's really funny though, because if you listen to the broadcast, maybe this is me, reading into him, but like you can kind of tell there's an air of like, I went into this not fully realizing the consequences
Yeah.
of my actions. Like,
There's a lot of I don't give a fuck behind a lot of what he says, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
these days. And like I dig it. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows he doesn't give a fuck. Why should he? It's
true.
he's at the tail end. He's doing Thursday nights. He's made his mark.
I was
he's
annoyed
done
because like
Super Bowls,
Yeah.
he's always
Yeah.
had a little bit of that attitude, which is why I've liked about him. But
Yeah.
then he just does not like. He's just like touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
like,
gonna get it and take it in for the touchdown. They've won the game. There it
yeah,
is.
he just like he lost it,
He's
and then
phoning
and
it
he got
in.
criticized for it, and he was like, "Wah, old man complaining." I'm like, "Oh no, come on! Does this just happen automatically when you get old?" Like,
Yeah.
I
it's-
mean, he's phoning it in, but I can't blame him
Honestly,
on
I
Thursday
think-
night.
out of all the people that have like ages and now, I think Joe Buck's actually gotten better.
Joe Buck is the best announcer in football right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry for
Very
all the Joe
solid.
Buck haters out there, but he's just the best.
He
I don't think
actually-
they exist anymore. I think I think I might have even lumped myself in that category previously, but
I
fully
mean, he used to
converted.
be bad.
Yeah.
He used
got
to be
better.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, like, I mean, I'm not a big baseball fan, but he always did both baseball and football, right?
Yeah.
I think he still does, right?
He would
And-
bring his baseball to football, and it
Yeah.
just wouldn't work
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that was the other, his play-by-play was just better in baseball. Like, I heard some of it, even
Yeah.
though I don't watch baseball.
Because in baseball,
you
you
know?
don't say much. Like, you let the
Yeah.
crowd talk, and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He
It's
was good
kind
at
of
that.
annoying when like someone hits a home run and the announcer's like, "Oh, can you believe that he hit the home run? Now he's running around the bases. Look at him go! Wow, what a great play!" It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called the Cubs World Series, I remember, because he actually did a good job with
Ah.
that. And it was just, he did the thing, like even in the play, he'd be like, "Brian, deep drive to left, gone." And that's all he'd say. But then you watch like football, and it's just like, Mahomes, sideline, touchdown.
Right. Yeah.
So like, yeah, it didn't really carry over well. But now that he
Big
doesn't do baseball,
sideline
it's-
touchdown, unbelievable. It's still one of the
That
greatest
is
calls.
great. Yeah.
That is great. It actually
But
was,
you know what?
it worked
That
there
one-
because it was kind of like a home run,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is that I think the thing that I like about Joe Buck is you can tell that he's and maybe this is just him being extremely professional and good at his job too, or maybe it's little column A, column B, but like he sounds very passionate about it, you know, like in that call, that Minnesota call, that was like, you could tell he's like jumping off his seat. He's into the game, you know, too,
or you could tell he was passionate when he was like, a disgusting act. That is unbelievable.
To be fair, his excuse for that was actually not horrible.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't hear it.
He said he thought that he actually pulled his pants down.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah. Well, I was like, I mean, even then, I would still laugh at that if he had done that. But
it was like the '90s or some shit, wasn't it?
No, it was. It was a playoff game. Vikings Packers playoffs. Packers lost.
Seeing someone's butt in the '90s was grounds for like death at the time.
Right?
Like, you gotta understand.
Yeah.
Now go play with that concussion.
Right? Yeah. You just got your bell rung.
Come on, go grab your asbestos and have a good time, all right?
You know, this is sort of tangentially related. In the 1950s, was it? Like the Lucy...
Okay, let's see how you connect this one.
Well, in the I Love Lucy show, right? Like they couldn't even say the word pants.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and actually
insane.
They were a married couple, but if you go back and watch the show, they slept in separate beds because they couldn't be shown to have the same bed.
Huh.
Wow, like what is wrong with us?
Puritan created country, you know?
Also, this game happened in 2005. It was Vikings Packers in Lambeau, and Brett Favre went 22 of 33 for 216, 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions.
Oh, wow.
That
and now
was
he's defrauding public funds.
Yep.
And that's not even his worst playoff game. I forgot how many interceptions Brett Favre would throw.
I thought you were going to be like, that's not even his worst crime.
It probably isn't, honestly.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Let me tell you about my favorite Brett Favre moment. It was the divisional playoffs.
Again, I put crime there.
Well,
Sorry.
that was not one of my favorite Brett Favre.
My favorite Brett Favre.
It was, I believe, is this the box score? Let's see. It's what he did. Screwed over so many kids over their volleyball, or no, what was it? The entire, it was an entire
he screwed
town,
over
right?
the city by building a volleyball.
Volleyball, yeah. This was Rams Packers 2002. Brett Favre went 26 of 44 for 281 yards. Buckle up. 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Ooh.
That's a lot, coach.
That's a
Why
lot.
was he not benched after like 5?
Oh, because he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was, I remember why. It was one of the worst playoff games I've ever seen. I've seen some really bad, but 6 interception. I remember it was Madden and what's his name? The other dude. Pat Summerall. Pat Summerall.
Right.
Yeah.
And they would just be like, Favre back to pass and another one. His 5th interception of the day. And then Madden's like, he's just fucking throwing the ball around there. He's going bing, bang, bam. He's fucking zip, zap. I don't know what he's doing.
You're right, Crendo. You do have all these different voices you can go to.
Yeah. I think that's why I love them, because it was like such a contrast of thing. You had Madden, who like was just so crazy, and then Pat Summerall was like the complete opposite of like, I am now on my 3rd whiskey of the night. And this is a football game.
Yeah, and Madden.
That's a good point, actually, is that like even the older commentators, like a lot of the guys from before my time and even like from the beginning of my time, there were a lot more like larger than life characters rather than, I don't know, I feel like modern football, when they're casting announcers, they're like, I want the most professional, straight laced guy by the books who just calls out by the numbers what happened. You know what I mean? Like, rather than like John Madden being like, well, you know, here's the thing about, you know what I mean? Like,
and I like those more. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's more fun.
And Castellanos hits a deep drive to the left.
Or Harry Carey.
So we had football games.
I like how, hold on, we completely skipped the news segment.
Oh, yeah, we had football news.
There was some big news today.
There is big news. In fact, 10 minutes ago, veteran pass rusher Bruce Irvin is signing with the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
There you go. We also had the Jets are cutting Michael Carter. Michael Carter is cut.
Wait, which one? We have two.
The Michael Carter.
Okay, so Michael Carter 1.
Yeah.
See, luckily, in that case, they're numbered. So we have Michael Carter and Michael Carter 2. So
Yeah. The running back. Yeah. Running back?
yes. Yeah. Michael Carter 2 is our CB.
Okay, yeah. So the running back.
Yeah.
We also had Zay Jones, Jacksonville receiver, arrested on domestic battery charge.
Oh, that was the one. Yeah.
That happened.
Well, I didn't even hear about that. That sounds bad.
Yep. Nick Chubb underwent a second surgery to repair torn ACLs, on track for 2024 return.
Good for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You skipped the big news.
And the Bills have fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey.
And boy, we'll get to that game.
We will.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cowboys' Leighton Vander Esch neck is out for the remainder of the season.
Ooh.
His neck's out, but the rest of him's in?
Yeah, so that's not going to be very helpful.
Yeah, how's he going to breathe?
That dude, I swear to God, he has had like the most season-ending injuries I've seen from like every time they're like Leighton Vander Esch, and he's like, and he's out. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's got to be rough. There are some guys like that in the NFL that just like I remember Sam Bradford.
Oh yeah,
from
Sam
back
Bradford.
then. Remember him?
Yep,
Oh,
I remember. Man, and he was a number 1 pick, wasn't he?
He kept getting opportunities, and honestly, when he was not injured, he was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just he was always injured.
Yeah. Well, we had football.
Football of the foot.
Hey, that was only 16 minutes. That felt like it was like 30 minutes.
I thought we went way over too. Yeah.
I thought that intro was the entirety.
Oh yeah, I did too. Which that's what. Oh my God, I meant to say the whole time. I thought Rob was gonna do some like, not the actual song, but like the Jets have cut Michael Williams to like Michael Carter.
Oh right.
Like a little like it's whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Panthers Bears.
I'm not that witty.
This game was not as bad as everyone said it was, to be honest. Like it
wasn't, but it was still bad.
fine. It was bad, but it wasn't like a tank bowl bad. Like
no.
I mean, you have a underperforming rookie quarterback versus an undrafted free agent rookie, and both of these are on 2 terrible teams. So the fact that this game was even watchable is a testament to, I don't know, how much these teams tried. Boy, did they try.
They sure did. The worst part wasn't there wasn't even like tanking incentive, because the Panthers pick goes to the Bears, so they had no reason to even like lose.
The Bears had all the reason to win.
Yeah.
They literally can make their pick better.
Yeah. So Bryce Young, this is my first time really watching Bryce Young, and I stand by my opinion that he looks like a worse Jordan Love, which is not good. So maybe it's because his O-line sucks or something. Like, I don't know.
The Panthers aren't a good team.
No,
not at all.
Here's the issue that you now have the comparison of Bryce Young to CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And you have a drafted 1 and 2. You have one of them underperforming, looks really bad. And then you have one of them who is an MVP candidate right now.
Actual MVP candidate.
That's, I mean, I feel bad for Bryce, but like, man, that is a tough look for sure. Because Stroud is doing this on the Texans. Like, everyone's like, oh, Bryce has a bad team. Bro, Stroud doesn't really have a good team either, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. I hope he improves. I don't hate the Panthers. I want them to do well, but man, it's not looking good. He looks a lot more like a bust than a prospect.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know what they say? Comparison is the death of joy. So,
nobody says that, man.
They say it.
They all say it.
I've heard them. They say it in my head all the time. But they also tell me other things. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Like CJ Stroud, what he's doing this year seems potentially historic. So, it's one of those
high
things.
bar, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like there are a lot of guys in the NFL who did not do that have still ended up being, some of the greatest players ever. So
was this the game? While I was watching, I think it was. This is the game. There were no injury timeouts this game.
Yeah, no.
There were also no turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fourth down efficiency, 3 for 3, 1 for 1, 0 fumbles, 0 interceptions. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like an insane game. Like that's why to me the game was so watchable. Like it happened at a reasonable pace. We didn't have all these timeouts and shit.
However, they were 3 of 15 on third down and 6 of 15 on third down.
Not great.
Yeah.
No, they were 4 for 4 on all fourth down combined conversions.
I feel like we've had the conversation a lot too about the fact that the Panthers really don't have a lot outside of Adam Thielen. Like he's got that security blanket for a rookie QB, which is what you really need to be able to succeed at all. But outside of that, it's a pretty steep drop off.
And also, like, let's be honest, Adam Thielen is a very good player, but he old. And out of all the security blankets that you could have in the NFL, there are certainly other ones that would be.
Absolutely.
He could have Devontae Adams. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be great if, like, they had, I don't know, DJ Moore and Adam Thielen. That would probably help him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or, maybe Christian McCaffrey.
That would imagine that offense, huh?
Might be pretty good.
What blows my mind is they're like, we can't pay this guy. We got it. And it's like, well, like, he's your team.
We jokingly called them the Carolina McCaffreys,
and they were
frequently.
And then now the Niners are the San Francisco McCaffreys.
Well, they're the San Francisco McCaffrey, Samuel, Ayuk.
Yeah, they got a lot more
True.
Like the Panthers literally could have had McCaffrey just be like the quarterback. He would have been their Taysom Hill. They literally should have played him at Taysom Hill position.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that kind of help. I mean, look at what he's doing for Brock Purdy. I mean, granted, not the past couple of weeks, but like just in general, like having that kind of a security blanket in the flat.
Yeah,
a guy that you can just like. Well, unfortunately, I have to check this ball down, but it might be a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think the big thing here is that they traded so much to go up and get this guy.
Yeah,
and he's not looking great. I think if you just draft him normally, people probably are just still like whatever. But like the fact that he traded so much and he's just like not looking great is just concerning.
And the Texans didn't have to do shit. They just picked their next star QB.
And then like if you look ahead, like if they would have had their next year's first, then they'd be like, oh, we're just gonna get another quarterback because there's plenty of good quarterbacks coming this year, but they don't. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is wild.
I mean, I'm looking at his stats. It's not the worst.
I don't think he's going to be bad. I think, he probably just needs better players around. He needs time to learn. He's just being forced in there. I think he'll be okay. It's just, like we said, it's CJ Stroud's just balling out.
Yeah.
So,
and I'll tell you what, I'm looking at his stats. I watched a lot of bad Jets rookie QBs.
Yep.
Bryce Young is still at over 60% completion percentage. So while he's, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks with 1,500 yards, and while that's not great, at least completing more than 60% of your passes is good.
Yeah.
That's a solid sign area for improvement,
Yeah. No, I agree.
We'll have to see next year because it ain't going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they still got all their other picks, I believe. It's just the first one that's gone. So, sucks, but it is what it is. Also, I think the worst call of this game I wanted to mention was they tried to kick the field goal, and the kicker clearly was like, yo, I can't make this. It's too far. And they're like, just try it anyway. And then he missed it. And he's like, oh, fucking. Like, all right.
Yeah.
And they went for fourth down earlier that drive and got it. And then it's like 4th and 3. And they're like, oh, we got to kick the field goal now. And it's like, why? Just go for it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
There should be rules against cowardice.
There should be. But that's how it ended. So that was that game.
Now we get to the worst game of the week.
Now we get to the worst. Colts, Patriots. If you didn't see, there's some great GIFs and clips from the game of Bill Belichick really just losing his mind. He's actually just, he's done.
Dude. Ooh.
It is
God.
It is time to pay. It is finally time to pay for what you've done.
Man. It is.
The Reapers come knocking.
This is some comeuppance. So this uppance is coming, y'all. Oh boy.
Yeah. I think
having watched the end of this game, because I was like, I'm not waking up to watch this one.
This was the Germany game. Important.
This was the Germany game.
Yeah. We brought our best football to Germany. I'm glad. I hope you guys liked it.
When I woke up, it was 10-3, or no, it was 7-3. It was just bad, and it was in the fourth quarter is when I started watching. And I was like, oh my god. Mac Jones. Look, you guys know I've been saying he's not good longer than any of you. In fact, I'm the only one who's been saying it.
I went to bat for him for a bit.
Yeah. I don't think he's this bad. I feel like his mental is destroyed.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of the Patriots' fault. Like, I don't think it's his fault that his mental was basically annihilated by getting benched constantly.
And he's got no one, too.
He's got no team to... Yeah. I don't know if this is necessarily the end of Mac Jones' career. It's the end of his career in New England.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I'm just a stupid guy that used to be a Patriots fan that now doesn't really care anymore. But like, I used to like be pretty into the Patriots and their success and like what made them successful. Everyone knows about the Patriot way, right? Like it's pretty hardcore. They're like a Marines-esque system of you do as we tell you, you fit your job, you do your job. That was their mantra for so long, right?
Yeah.
That works with a particular kind of person, specifically if that person is in the leadership role within the organization, or a leadership role within the organization, right? Yeah. Tom Brady, he's that kind of person who's able to work with that, allow like criticism of himself to not affect his mentality and instead be able to like turn it into data to use to make his robot self better. Mac Jones, probably not one of those people. I don't think there's a lot of those people who are like fully able to disassociate from a personal critique and evaluate it as something that they can use to make themselves or the team better. Like it's not me saying like he's a wuss or anything like that. It's just like the Patriots are like they're
it's an older way of coaching.
Yeah.
They are gonna like make you feel like shit if you play like shit, more than likely. And that's been happening a lot. I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume that he's been taking a beating, and like you said, Apollo, like probably his mental is just gone.
There are 2 points in the game that I think were notable. One will confirm your point, which was Bill O'Brien fucking screaming at Mac Jones on the side, like full blown screaming, spit coming out, and Mac just was like, he wasn't even there.
Well, to further prove that point, dude, there's the fucking like there's gifs of the exchange of Bill O'Brien and Brady having basically the exact same kind of spat on the sidelines, except Brady is screaming right back.
Right. And then there's a gif of the end of the game after Mac Jones had been benched and they lost that I'm not going to diagnose. I'm not a professional, but I know when someone looks like their life is ruined. His expression was like, it made me uncomfortable to be watching it. Like he looked that sad.
Fields' face.
It was really bad. And I feel bad for Mac Jones. I feel bad for talking shit this whole time because he's a person. All these quarterbacks are people. They're rich, so I don't feel that bad. But like...
the gif of Woody Harrelson crying into the money.
I don't know. I if there's one thing now I stand by, it's that the Patriots, the Belichick era is over. Whether or not you decide that that's now or at the end of the season or whenever his contract expires, whatever, that era is gone and you have to accept it. So are you going to do something about it now, or are you going to wait a couple of years? I don't know. Like, I think it's time to move on and just rebuild, make a new era, new coach, new players, new everyone. Let's see what you can do, New England.
Yeah.
Like
they need a New England. Like it.
Well, I know you don't. I know you're not used to that because you've been winning for 20 fucking years. And as a Steelers fan, I also don't really know what that's like too much. I'm getting a little taste of it.
Yeah.
But like. Yeah, like it's Jover.
I too am getting a big taste of that.
Little, okay, one fucking season, brother. Little taste. Let's realize where we are. Okay.
I will say it is much more fun being like, you know what, everybody's in their first and second year, so it feels like you have room to grow. But with the Patriots, it's like, well, we got Ezekiel Elliott and fucking like all these ancient people around these guys. It's like I don't know what they're doing.
Dude. Yeah, again, like this is another case of just look at the roster, dude. I mean, like, of course they're 2-8. Look at this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, important to note too. They still, I mean, granted, it's the Colts, but they held the Colts to 10, and you know, and this is the thing: is Bill Belichick's specialty is defense and special teams, right? Like not offense, and he's had other guys, Josh McDaniels, Bill O'Brien, and then, of course, very importantly, Tom Brady, to handle the offensive side of the football. And, still in this game, Patriots had a good defense. They held the Colts to 10. And that should be a win, right? Because your offense should be able to score more than 10 points. But, you
would think it is any offense in the NFL should be able to get 10 points.
One would think.
Patriots are currently in the bottom 10 in both passing and rushing defense this year. Yeah. So the defense did well enough against the Colts, but they're still not doing
They're
great.
Also second worst in points per game at 14.1. points per game, only above the New York Football Giants, who score 11.8 points per game, which is the worst, I believe, since like 1991 or something. So
that is hard to hear.
They're not like the powerhouse New York Jets at 16 per game. Let me tell you what.
I'm surprised it's that high.
Dude. The Steelers have the 4th least touchdown scored in the league.
Yep.
And they're
sure do.
Fucking 6-2.
We'll get to that.
Testament to Mike Tomlin, man. No, but actually, to that point, Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick, there's a part of me that totally agrees with you that there's probably no coming back and Bill Belichick's done. However, I again say that, man, this is a very much a what have you done for me lately kind of kind of view.
That's how football goes.
Yeah, man. Even Belichick isn't immune to it.
That's true, but to
me, it's just his age, and his I think his football
Pete Carroll is the same. I think Pete Carroll's maybe even older than him too,
but he has a much different coaching style. Obviously,
he does.
True. Yes, he does.
He's very much a player coach, type of cheerleader type of. He's very upbeat, and he's literally the complete opposite of Bill Belichick.
But he's a player's coach, whereas Belichick is like a
Belicoach.
Sounds like a fucking
the NFL made the Belicoach
That's like
spot.
The fucking AI that New England's making to replace him. We replace him with Belicoach.
Carroll is 72, Belichick is 71. So well done, Rob. Congratulations. You did it.
You go. So, but I mean, I'm just saying, I think that it's maybe it would be better for him to even go to a different place and get new staff and stuff, and maybe but I do think that he's perfectly capable of still being a winning coach. He has a long career, even before the Patriots, of having successful records and stuff. Like he was with the Browns. Remember, he has 8 rings, not like Tom Brady's 6, because he got 2 with the Giants, right? So
I mean, obviously, the moment he's gone from the Pats, if he still wants to coach, he's going to get another job. It's going to be the next day.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Watch him go to the fucking Rams or Buccaneers or something. That'd be weird.
I mean, I could say the thing is I just don't see a path for them realistically to fire him. You know what I mean? Can you
couple more losses like that?
Maybe, I mean, I don't know, but I still don't know if you can afford those headlines of firing the most winningest coach in NFL.
I mean,
history.
at this point, they don't give a shit. They're just like, win the game.
The Boston fans are probably gonna be fucking calling for his head soon, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they were calling for it during the era, so yeah.
But the Colts hung on. I guess they didn't really do much, but they won.
Wins a win.
They weren't very impressive either.
Yeah. So good thing Germany got to witness a fun game.
Yeah, don't you guys want this game in your country?
Great to fall.
You could watch something like this every week.
Yeah, man. Exciting. Speaking of exciting, we had the Browns Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting.
It actually was exciting.
As much as I don't want to admit it, this is a pretty damn good game.
It was.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was talking about. Ravens. This is why I don't trust them.
This is why I was surprised I was the only one that not picked the Ravens.
They were up.
Why ain't gonna pick no damn elves?
They were up like 24-9, or they like. What was the score?
24-9. Yeah.
And then it was 24-17, like in the fourth quarter. Like.
It's 31-17 in the fourth quarter.
31-17 because they scored again. Yeah. Like, why do you keep doing this? You're winning. Why can't you close out your damn games? I hate you, but like I still want to watch good football. Stop
I hate you, but
shit.
Damn it, I respect.
Like you want my respect as a Steelers fan. Obviously, you probably don't care, but like if you want, like actually, like fucking finish your games. Beat the shitty Browns who are overrated as hell. Like they're not good. Like,
are you telling me 20 of 34, 213, 1 TD, 1 int isn't worth 250 million guaranteed?
No, it's not. I mean, the Browns should never won this game. Like Lamar threw this fucking like weird like half fumble interception thing that they returned for a pick 6 or whatever. It's the only reason they even won.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how I could say that stat line and you'd be like, oh, it's PJ Walker. Like you wouldn't even be able to tell. It's honestly like just about like think that's what bothers me with the Browns is like they didn't have to do anything. They literally could have just like gotten a random ass quarterback and they'd still be a good team. But instead they just traded everything, including their soul, to be like, get this guy and give him all the money and picks we have. Like, what?
And fuck over the most interesting part of your team who was selling seats, selling tickets.
Yeah.
You know?
Single-handedly brought the franchise back from the dead.
Yeah.
Guess who the Browns had and traded away for like a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs, they had Dobbs, and they just like my God, man.
It's just embarrassing, but they won because of their defense.
And I mean, I don't know, man. Their defense I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like the Browns, like their defense is probably good for like yardage, but their scoring defense, I can't imagine is that good. They give up so many points every game.
They're like middle of the pack,
The Ravens the Ravens are weird because they
should be the best team in the league right now, or at least second best, but then they do shit like this.
Yeah, like like they play good defense, but then they'll like just give up crazy plays and stuff. Then they'll like they have decent passing, they'll make some good passes, but then Lamar like throw picks, and then they like run the ball efficiently. They have like 4 guys running the ball. And they like lose, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
I will fully admit that the Ravens are the best team in that division right now. I believe that to be true, but if they lose to the Bengals this week, which is entirely possible, the winner of Steelers Browns will be the division leader. Are you fucking kidding me?
This division's a mess, man.
The Steelers or the Browns will lead the division if the Ravens lose this Thursday because they also play each other. It's a double division week. That's like crazy because the Browns, I mean, I think they're slightly better than the Steelers, not by a huge margin, but the Steelers are like the worst team in that division and they could lead it by the end of the week.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
It actually is insane. In fact, I think you're right because the Browns, it feels like they have a slightly better defense than the Steelers, and it feels like they have a slightly better offense than the Steelers, but yet here they are.
Here they are, and they lost to the Steelers, as did the Ravens. So, what the fuck does any of that mean? Who cares?
The Ravens are plus 113 in the point differential, and the Steelers are minus 26, and it's entirely possible that the Steelers will be leading the division.
Yep, that is
I don't know.
Fact.
I think this division will level out, and only one or two of these teams will make the playoffs. I think that this division isn't as good as its record by a long shot.
There's just so many competitive AFC teams. It's like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, and then I look at it. It depends, because we're in a very weird position right now where you have like teams you're very confident will make the playoffs. Like, I think the Ravens are going to make the playoffs. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs. I don't know about the AFC East. That's getting weird fast.
Yeah.
But yet we have this fucking amalgamation of teams in the AFC. You have the Bills, the Steelers, the Jets, the Browns, the Texans, the Colts, the Chargers, the Raiders, and on the outside, still kind of the Titans and Broncos too. Yeah. All of those teams are within like 2 games of each other.
Yeah. Yep. The only one out is the Patriots. That's like
the Patriots.
Yeah, pretty much, which is so weird.
Yeah, I love to see it. I really do.
This is going to be the most, as like bad as this season's been for like quality, this is going to be a bloodbath at the end of the season in terms of who's going and who's not. It could be any of these teams.
Yeah, it's going to be total chaos.
And I can't wait.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, actually.
Also, the top 2 running teams in the NFL are the Ravens and the Browns, averaging 154.9 and 147.9.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
That's not who I would have picked.
No.
And, you know, intriguingly, you could kind of say both of those teams are the Browns, since the Ravens used to be the Browns.
True.
You could say that, yes. You could.
You wanted to confuse people, but
you want to confuse people, yep. Now we got to Packers, Steelers. Oh, boy.
We can use
all of our energies in this game.
Man, what a wild start to this game. We're sitting here ready to watch 2 offenses fucking anemically make their way to field goals the whole time.
Yep.
And they bust out 3 straight touchdown drives.
Yep. It was pretty insane. I expected like a Bears-Panthers like 9-6 ultimate battle, and then it was just they were lighting it up.
And then they forgot how.
And then they forgot.
Yeah, and then they forgot how to play football.
But there was one of the shittiest calls I have ever seen in my life in this game, and it could have turned the tide of the game. In fact, Dean Blandino, our favorite referee, whatever the shit he is, was surprised at the forward pass ruling. So was I. Probably because it was a backwards pass.
Yet again, I will go to bat for the reality that we need more camera angles, because this would have been much easier to call if there was a better camera angle.
Yeah,
it would have been very obvious, but for some reason, I swear to God, they're like removing cameras from these fields. I feel like there used to be so many more replays and so many more angles, but every fucking week I'm like, man, they don't have like over that way. Like, why? What is going on?
It doesn't make sense. I don't know how they can't add. They do all this other shit, but they can't do like a couple more camera angles. It's just. So if you didn't watch, there's a play where it was, I want to say 17-13 at that point. We just went ahead and missed our extra point because our guy just didn't block a gunner. Like, great stuff. That was Packers special teams at its finest. And then the Kenny Pickett offense comes out and he throws a backwards pass. And everyone's like, that's a backwards pass. And then they like blow it dead. They're like, no. And then they show it again, and he's throwing it behind him. And not only that, the receiver has to reach behind him to catch the pass. So it's like, okay, it's going behind him. The guy's also reaching behind him. So it clearly is a backward pass. So the Packers challenge it. And I'm like, oh, sweet, we're going to get the ball at like the 3, even though we should probably get a touchdown because they could have like let the play keep playing. But whatever, we'll get the ball at the 3. And then they're like, nope, it's a forward. And I was like, oh, what? Are we watching the same game? Like, it actually blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. Maybe one of the worst calls I've seen this year. I'd rank that in like top 3 worst calls I've seen this year. Like, it was so bad. But Yeah. Anyway, that's referees. Overall, I mean, the game, it was still a close game. Packers at the end had 2 chances to score a touchdown and go ahead, but I don't know why we keep throwing to Christian Watson. He just either drops the ball or doesn't fight for the ball, and then he's literally, Jordan Love has 10 interceptions this year. 5 of them are when he's throwing to Christian Watson. Like, Christian Watson is not, I don't know what happened, but he's not good. I think Aaron Rodgers actually kept him in check. Like, I genuinely think so, because last year, Aaron Rodgers had that quote I said last week where he's like, if you run the routes, you get touchdowns. And so he was clearly talking about Watson because he had 3 touchdowns that game. And now, turns out Christian Watson, he's just not running routes well, and he's dropping shit. He's a glorified go route runner. In fact, I would say he's he's kind of like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, but I think he's worse. And so until he learns how to get better, because I mean, he could get better. I think he just has to make the effort to get better. And right now he's not doing it. Because right now I would rather Romeo Doubs be the one. I'd rather Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, our 6th round pick is better than Christian Watson right now. It
is wild how much he fell off.
He was the phenom, dude. People were going crazy for him.
Yeah, and now I'd put him at 4. I legit think he's the 4 right now. He's just bad. And then every time they throw to him, he gets picks up. I'm like, just stop throwing to him, please. In fact, we were doing fine on offense, and then he came back, and that's when our offense started sucking ass. Anyway, we actually played pretty well on offense. Love's completion percentage looks bad, but that's usually because people drop everything for some reason. I still don't know. I don't think he played that bad. He made some good throws. One of the touchdowns was a deflection, and the other one was at the end of the game, where the Steelers had their entire defense in the end zone. So it's probably going to get picked off, but you got to try. So
apparently I need to shit talk my team, even though they won't win. I still need to shit talk them. So apparently, I don't know if this is 100% true. I think it might be though. No, I think there's a video of it though. On the final play, when there's 3 seconds left and then they needed a 25-yard touchdown pass or whatever, they lined up in man. Our defense lined up in man. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick literally on the sideline runs over and starts screaming at our defensive coordinator going, what the fuck are you doing? Get them in the end zone. It's the final play. And I think there was an argument between the coaches, and eventually they were like, oh yeah, we should do that. And I'm over here why is our defensive coordinator need to be told this? That's not good. We have a coordinator problem, boys. There's a reason our defense is actually kind of bad. People say the Steelers have a good defense. What's their yard? They're how many? They give up so many yards actually. I think points wise they're not horrible, but yards wise they give up a lot of yards.
In terms of yards allowed, they are actually the 5th worst.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've watched enough of these games. It's our defense does not actually play defense. They play their own magical little game of when can we get the turnover?
Yeah.
They keep letting them down the field, guys, but we got to get that turnover eventually. To be fair, it is working. I don't know how.
Yep.
But you can see the games in which it didn't work. Niners, Texans, it worked against the Jags, but our offense couldn't fucking do anything. But in our other 2 losses, our defense didn't really get any turnovers and proceeded to just let them down the field.
Yep.
And it's I don't know, man. I'll go to bat for Tomlin, but these coordinators, man, no, no way. So I don't want everyone to start thinking Canada's good because their offense is here's what's happened. Why is the Steelers offense suddenly working? Well, because we magically got 200 rushing yards this game, which is a lot.
If you want to solve your offensive woes, run the ball against the Green Bay Packer defense.
Yeah, but one of the big key ingredients is we started, what's that? Our rookie 1st round draft pick? Wait, we're starting him now and our run game is magically amazing? Weird.
That's crazy.
It's almost like we should have been starting him from the beginning.
Yeah, he did run for 101 and a touchdown on 15 carries, averaging 6.7 yards per carry.
That's Jalen Warren. I'm talking about Broderick Jones, our tackle. Who's opening up the run game.
Wait, what's Jalen Warren?
He's our undrafted or like.
Oh my god!
He's undrafted. I told you Jalen Warren's underrated. He was my second highest scoring fantasy player this week. Which won fantasy again. Now it's my turn.
Nice. Coming back, dude.
Yeah. See, I told you. You were all doing
I did not realize that 2 underrated running backs would fall into my hands. Like that was what I was doing bad with.
This is how fantasy goes.
Got Gus Edwards and then Deontay Foreman got me like 20 points, man. Like I don't know who dropped him, but thank you.
Well, big thing this week is we play each other.
Oh,
we got a big battle, and if I win, I actually move possibly ahead of Rob, depending on what Rob does. So
yeah, I had another bad week.
Well, I actually helped Bear out because Bear lost this week, and I made sure first place also lost. So
ever since I bragged about the success of my team, I've been on a pretty bad losing streak.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah. Man, I had to bench Butker for Kansas City because he had a bye week, and I got Jason Myers, the Seattle kicker, and he got me 21 points as a kicker. I think he was my highest scoring player. So
I think I had him earlier in the year, and I fired him because he had a bye week, and I switched kickers.
You know who I'm gonna fucking fire is Calvin Ridley, dude. My God.
Yeah,
dude gets like 4 points a game. Like, what's happening? Anyway, Steelers still suck and inexplicably continue to win despite them still sucking.
Yeah, this was a game where I watched the Steelers and I was like, you know what? This does seem like the Steelers. Like I got all the vibes of like a typical Steeler win where it felt like we could have won the game and we didn't. And the Steelers were like, oh, I guess we won.
Yeah, I guess we won.
It would have been a lot closer, I think, had the backward pass been called, because then the Packers would go ahead. And then I think the Steelers would have to pass the ball, and that would have been really bad for them. But
yeah, I mean, Kenny Pickett's stat lines this year are so... I don't know. I don't know what is like. I don't know if it's just Kenny Pickett just sucks and he's just that bad, and that's unfortunate for us, or if it's just our offensive schemes are just not putting the ball where we need to. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, if we win next week, like if we beat the Browns and then move to 3-0 in our division and then sit atop of the division. If the Ravens lose, I'm really not going to know what to think about this team. It's going to be a fucking magical, nonsensical situation.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
This guy doesn't believe in magic.
He doesn't.
I don't know.
I will say this was actually the type of Packer game I've been expecting all year, which was like we played pretty well. Love looked pretty good, and it felt like we made progress as a young team. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'll take it. And we lost, but we get better draft positioning, so whatever.
Yeah, it's the Packers season, I think, actually just ended, in fact. I think this was the game you had to win if you wanted playoff hopes.
I think so. I also think there's still a little hope because we have Giants-Panthers.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's what because I looked at this.
Yeah.
Your next 3 games are Chargers, Lions, Chiefs.
Yeah, that's bad. However,
so let's give you credit and say you win all of the other games. You're still gonna end 7-9, 10.
So they got Chargers. I mean, it is the Chargers.
No, 7 and 8. Wait,
it is very possible. I think we could beat the Lions on Thanksgiving because it is a Thanksgiving. It's a rivalry game. I don't know. I always, I think they could take that. They're going to get shit on by the Chiefs. It's going to be an absolute decimation. I think they can beat the Giants and the Panthers. We can maybe beat the Vikings with Josh Dobbs. I think we lose to the Buccaneers because of their defense. And then I think we beat the Bears because it's the Bears. But that's still like...
It's not enough.
It's not enough, no. It'll be like... They'll probably finish with like 7 to 8 wins on a good schedule.
If they win the games they're supposed to.
Yeah, which if they do, I wouldn't even be upset.
Not Bears.
Yeah, like genuinely, I wouldn't even be upset. I'd be like, hey, we're making progress going into next year. We get some draft help, couple free agents, we're good to go. Cap people get let up. Bakhtiari's gone. Like, I'd be fine. Like, as long as we're making progress towards next year, that's all that I really care about. But if they shit themselves, then I'm going to be upset. If we lose to the Giants or the Panthers, I'm actually going to shit myself. So anyway,
for the other team, I do think the Steelers' playoff hopes are going to start looking very bad because I mean, we have so many divisional games left. We have Browns, Bengals, then we have Cards, Pats. But like the problem is the Cards got Kyler Murray back, and they're not actually that bad anymore.
Oh yeah, dude, Kyler's back. I'm so excited for that game.
And then the Colts are still a hard team. And then we have our final 3 games are Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens. The Steelers, as great as things are going, I still think it's a very, very outside shot at making the playoffs with this schedule because a lot of our easy games are behind us, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know how they do it. It has to. It almost feels like they're the Vikings of last year.
Yeah, but that Vikings team was actually good. They just were also really bad.
Said it. It's by the opposite, but still, I've been waiting for that.
Also, by the way, I had to point this one out. The Steelers actually gave up a 60-yard run to the A.J. Dillon up the middle. Truly embarrassing.
Yeah, our run defense is horrible, which you would think would mean we would lose to the top 2 run offenses, but we beat them both, which doesn't fucking make any sense.
So anyway,
we also lost our other inside linebacker to season-ending injury.
Oh yeah,
so we're kind of fucked.
49ers, Jaguars. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 49ers team that this is how they win the game. They go up early and then they just don't really look back. This is either they lose a close game in an agonizing way because Brock Purdy can't throw the ball, or they fucking execute a perfect offense for the first 3 quarters and don't need to give a shit about the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like the Jaguars, but there's something with them that I don't know.
A fraudulence alert.
There's something in the water.
There's something in the water. They get it's almost like they drank the Tennessee Titan water. Or the Chargers water.
Yeah, they took over the I know I like the Titans thing. Because the Titans, they just were never that good. But
they'll beat somebody good, and you're like, oh, there they are, and then they'll get shit on the next week. And you're like, okay,
dude, I'll say it. The Texans are the best team in that division.
They are. I 100% agree.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Plus, everybody with Trevor Lawrence. All right. I don't dislike Trevor Lawrence, but this guy was put on a pedestal, and they're like, guys, this is Peyton Manning 2.0. And you're like, oh, okay. And he's not bad, but he's 2,100 yards, 9 TDs, 6 interceptions. That's not Peyton Manning 2.0. That's he's a good
It's not even Andrew Luck 2.0, because that was also the other comparison.
This is year 3 or 4 for him.
Well, 3, but 1 was Urban Meyer, so we don't count that.
Right.
So
true. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he's in year 2.
So he's technically still within that 3-year window, so we're not allowed to compare him. Yeah, especially because Peyton Manning was also bad when he started.
Again, it starts getting that point where you're like, here's C.J. Stroud. And then you're like, well, C.J. Stroud looks like Peyton Manning 2.0 if anybody. Or Patrick Mahomes 2.0 at this rate. It's, you start looking, you're like, all right, no, any day now, he's going to start becoming Peyton Manning. Here it is. Still waiting, but
I'm worried that Trevor Lawrence is. You mentioned the Titans. I'm getting a Tannehill vibe from him, which is not a compliment. He's going to stick around in the league for a while, but he's never going to win anything. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
but that's the vibe I'm starting to get.
He does kind of give Tannehill vibes.
So to your point too earlier, Bear, I think, right, with the Peyton Manning was bad earlier.
Right, yeah.
The Peyton Manning, while he had, he threw a lot of picks, he had a lot of turnovers early on, he was also doing record-breaking volume.
Yeah.
And there's nothing particularly this sounds overly critical, but I mean it in the purely definitional way. There's nothing exceptional about Trevor Lawrence, right? There's never some guys are well, they're not great, but they have one of the best completion percentages in the league, or
right.
Yeah, they're not great, but he throws for a lot of yards. There's not one category where it's well, Trevor Lawrence is really good at that one thing. He's just
he's just pretty good at everything.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He's fully above average, and that's it.
And that might have been the reason that they thought, oh, this dude's going to become the next big quarterback because he's just like pretty good at everything. So like, oh, when he gets to the NFL and he improves, he's going to be amazing at everything. But he's just still kind of good at everything, and that's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you know, I think it's like the even no matter how good a prospect is, they still need training and learning in the league.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's a completely different animal, and you know, is he getting the best coaching there in Jacksonville? I mean, he does have Doug Peterson right now.
Yeah.
But also, you know, if you look at Doug Peterson's history with QBs, it's like Carson Wentz and Nick Foles and stuff, right? So,
yeah,
you know,
Big Nick.
Right.
But yeah, some guys, I think it just depends. Some guys, I think they just are good right away. Some guys, they need to practice and stuff. Some guys just need game experience. I think people underrate the amount that game experience helps somebody learn. I mean, literally just think of like yourself. Like you play a video game or you play something, you're like, okay, I'm starting out, I'm bad, but you play the game more and more and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm kind of getting it. Like some guys just need to go through that.
Yeah.
And,
or actually relating that to video games, it's kind of like, if you've played a competitive multiplayer game and you play against bots and then you suddenly play against real people and it's, you know, that stark difference.
It's like going from college to professional at that point.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I think a lot of players, I mean, look at Geno Smith. It took him years, but like now he's actually pretty good. Like,
I mean, look at Josh Dobbs this year too, right? I mean, he's been in the league for like 7-8 years too.
Yeah. And it's like we said earlier, it's a very much, what have you done for me lately? That's why people are like, Jordan Love, get rid of him. It's like, just fucking calm down. All right.
Right.
Like, so you just got to let these guys. And then what happens is when people give up too soon on these guys, like whether, like, no matter who it is, like Geno Smith, then they go somewhere else and they're like, oh, we should have kept him. He's doing so good at the other place now. And it's like, well, you were yelling at him. So it's like I said, and Aaron Rodgers actually said it a few weeks ago. He was like, it's very much a reactionary, like not even what have you done for me last week? Like if you won last week, they're like look at Justin Fields. They're like, oh, he's balling out. And then the next week, like, nope, he sucks. I knew we should draft Caleb Williams. And it's like every week, it's just it's drastically changing. So it's like you just gotta like, if you're the player, you gotta stay calm. You just gotta be like, hey, you know what? Just keep working at what I'm doing, and then hope you improve. And that's really all you can do.
Yeah.
So I still have hope for him, but man, now he's in the CJ Stroud division.
Yeah.
So it's not looking great for them. But I mean, they're still 6-3. And it was the 49ers. So.
Yeah. Out of all the teams to get stomped by, that one makes the most sense, right?
Yeah. And this was very much it almost felt like a must win for the 49ers. Like they'd lost 3 straight. People are like, what's happening? And you know, they were just like, all right, we're just going to end this right now. And they did. So yeah, that's why I locked the 49ers this week. Yeah.
Yep. Fair.
And that was that. So then we had the Vikings Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jameis Winston special.
That's
it
right.
Sure was. So this
perfectly balanced as all things should be.
This game was pretty much Joshua Dobbs, first half, balling out, going crazy, threw to TJ Hawkinson like 90% of the time, which to be fair, that's what I would do as well.
Yeah.
And they go up 24-3. Second half, Saints start coming back, but then Jameis Winston has a chance to drive down the field, picked off. Has a chance to drive down and tie it up, picked off. Has a chance to Hail Mary, game over. And that's what it was.
Jameis Winston. It would have been nice to see if Derek Carr could finish this one out, because man, here we go again with the fucking Saints, man. Like, why can't you guys be better? What is wrong with your team? I cannot figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Derek Carr did go down, in fairness, in the game.
Yeah, but they weren't really doing much with him either.
Yeah.
True. But, well, I mean, their record isn't... Yeah, it's like they're at 500 now. So, I mean, they were winning coming into the game.
They've been.
There's a shocking lack of Taysom Hill in this game, too, which maybe that has something to do with it.
It's, like Derek Carr was supposed to be the guy who came in like, all right, you know what? The Saints just need like a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, but just a good one to get this team to the top of the division. And they're still the Saints.
Yeah.
Like,
They're trying to recreate the Drew Brees special, right? Like that's what happened. Drew Brees. They were trying to get Drew Brees back from the chart because that's how his thing was. He was on the Chargers for his rookie contract, got injured, and the Chargers were like, "You're out," and the Saints were like, "You're in," and then they won a Super Bowl.
I've stopped believing in the Saints now. I don't trust that team anymore.
Yeah,
I don't.
Although you got to believe in the power of Josh Dobbs, honestly.
You do. I mean, to be fair, he was doing pretty well in Arizona. It's Arizona.
Yeah, he was doing remarkably well in Arizona. Like he was the talk of the town, and then he suddenly became the talk of the town in Minnesota as well.
Just like think how chaotic the NFL. Like in week 1. Imagine thinking ahead to week 10 and be like, Vikings, your touchdown leaders are running back Ty Chandler and Joshua Dobbs, your starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Yeah.
So the Vikings 6-4, and like if the Vikings are in the AFC, I'd be like, I still don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. They're in the NFC, and they are probably gonna make the playoffs at this rate because there's not a lot of competition.
True.
Because here's the playoff picture right now is Eagles, Lions, 49ers. Okay. Let's stay. Then you got Seahawks, Cowboys. Yep. Then you have Saints at 5-5 in first place in the NFC South. And then you have Vikings at 6-4 as the NFC North second place. And then outside on the bubble, currently the next most likely team to make it is the 4-5 Buccaneers. Then the 4-6 Commanders, the 4-6 Falcons, and then the Packers at 3-6.
Yeah,
that's not good.
That's the bubble.
That's the bubble. They're on the bubble right there.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're over halfway through the season, and it has ended up shaking out that the AFC is dominant again, and the NFC is kind of a joke.
Yep, it is. But who knows? Who knows what happens second half? It's going to be a chaotic thing, but in the opposite way. It's going to be one of those things where they're like, oh, this team has 7 or 8 wins and they've made the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like how the NFC South is back to where it fucking was last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minus the Panthers. And
yeah.
Who knows who's going to win that division?
I actually don't know either. But let's move on from this game to the Texans, because that's actually crazy how the Texans are. I think they're going to win the division at this rate.
Yeah.
That's a safe bet.
I mean, they're the hot team.
Yeah.
I am now so curious what the fuck happened again, because keep in mind, this team lost to the Panthers. The Texans are the only team that lost to the Panthers.
Yep.
How did that happen? They're like actually good.
I mean, maybe it took some time for them to fully gel and get themselves around CJ Stroud. Because, I mean, I imagine they didn't even think that he was going to be this good.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, this isn't his best game, but, still,
The fact that it's not his best game and he threw for 350 yards and a touchdown is kind of, says a lot.
Yeah.
He did throw a very bad pick. The pick was a pick 6, and it was ooh-y.
Yeah. In fact, Noah Brown was their leading receiver with 172 yards. I don't know who that's
wild, yeah.
But it looks like he was with the Cowboys at one point from past images. So
the Texans had 544 total yards.
Yeah, Jesus.
Against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Who are not like a pushover defense.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely playoff bound, probably, right?
I
don't know, man.
Yeah, but in the AFC, I have no idea.
Let's do a little Bengals schedule check.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. In fact, it's actually reasonable. I think they should make the playoffs. You have Ravens, Steelers, which, both those games will be hard.
Yeah, divisional.
But then you have, Jags, which I favor the Bengals there.
Yeah.
Colts. Easy enough. Vikings should be a win. Steelers again. They got to win one of those Steelers games at least.
Yeah.
And then they have the Chiefs, but then it's the Browns again. It's a lot of divisional games, but
it's tough. Yeah.
There's plenty of winnable games there for them.
I think they're a good enough team that they'll win a majority.
They can win the hard
games.
games. Yeah, like the Packers.
The Bengals defense is actually kind of bad. I just checked. Yeah, they're bottom 3 in the league in yards per pass attempt allowed, and bottom 10 in total passing yards allowed per game. Bottom 10 in total rushing yards allowed per game. Seventh worst in the league. So they're not great.
I think a lot of teams since like Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Chiefs have become, the new kids on the block, I think a lot of teams have been emulating that particular, the way they went about it, which was that, like, who needs defense? Let's just score way more points than the other team, right?
They remind me of what the Bills are supposed to be.
Yeah, they actually do,
they're just like a better version of that team.
I mean, in fairness, it has been working out more than just the Chiefs, right? Like, a lot of teams have been doing that, and like, I mean, even the Lions recently, like the Lions are having success right now, and that's exactly how they built it. Is just like, who gives a shit about defense? We'll just score 40 points a game.
It's, in fact, I'd say the one year the Packers even won the Super Bowl was we had like the Aaron Rodgers super offense, and then our defense was like, get a couple turnovers. That's it. The defense is there to like get a couple turnovers, and then they did the old bend don't break. The problem is when you start breaking. And I think that's what a lot of these teams are. Like Bengals, I think, was kind of like that. Like even Chiefs for a while was like, but the Chiefs actually have improved their defense now.
Well, so the thing that I was going to mention, too, regarding that is while the Chiefs had great success with that, and a couple other teams have great regular season success with that, if you look at the Super Bowl winners for the past couple of years, the ones that aren't the Chiefs aren't necessarily built that way. They'll have good defenses, too, So, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a shooting yourself in the foot kind of thing, chasing that, but it's more fun.
It is more fun.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'd rather watch a high-powered offense with a bad defense than a high-powered defense, bad offense. Jets.
Yep.
On the other side, Texans, they play the Cardinals, the Jaguars, the Broncos, the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Titans again, and the Colts. So
holy shit.
That is a super easy schedule.
Yeah. They might have a full... They might not lose.
They might not
have a full ride to the playoffs.
I can see them losing like 2 of those, but I think they could win the rest. Like, I
mean, I will be interested to see CJ Stroud play against the Jets defense, because that'll be tough for him.
That is true. It'll be fun. But I mean, at this point, I think the Texans look like they're going to go to the playoffs with that
for
schedule.
sure. Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. Speaking of interesting, Buccaneers Titans was not interesting. It was a game. Will Levis did mediocre to kind of bad, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Derrick Henry ran for 24 yards.
Yep.
Yeah, 2.2 yards per carry.
Yep. And the Titans played just average football, which was enough to win by a lot.
The Titans are aspiring to average football. Are you kidding me? They wish they played average football. They are shit in the bed.
Titans, hear me out. I was saying, like, it's time to make a little bit of a, take this year as a free rebuild year. Yeah. You wanted to win. Yeah. But we all knew you weren't going to. So, in fact, it seems like you were the only ones that didn't know you weren't going to win.
Yeah.
But here you go. You're 3-6. Almost no chance of making the playoffs, this team. So develop Levis, find out where you're going in the draft, plan for next year. I feel like the Titans have a route to transition to a winning team much quicker than most other teams.
Yeah.
If they actually work towards it instead of doing this bullshit. Let's Tannehill, we can give him one more ride. You fucked that up. That was the time you should have been using building a better team, but you still have time.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Here you go. Here's your time. Don't make a bunch of bullshit drama with Levis and ruin him. Develop him. Fucking punt the season and figure out what the hell you're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you do is you probably re-sign Derrick Henry after this year. I still think you do, even if it's only like 2-3 years. Then you keep Hopkins. He's on a 2-year deal, so Hopkins comes back. If you're still shitty at the halfway point next year, then you just trade him and get more assets and then keep rebuilding. And then, you got Will Levis. You get offensive line, get some defense. Maybe they need some more wide receivers because, A.J. Brown, they didn't want him. And, I think they can rebuild pretty quickly, but
I mean, at this point, I think they should. I know I was just critical of it, but I think they should go the full like fucking go all in on offense. You know?
Yeah.
Just because of the nature of who Will Levis. Jesus Christ.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I think I'm losing it, guys. Because of who he is and how he plays, he's a big arm. I refuse. He is Will Levis.
Yep.
He's a big arm gunslinger type guy, right?
Yeah.
So fucking get guys who can fly. Get the guy, whoever is in the draft that can run the fastest, get that guy. Yeah. You know, like do all that kind of shit. Treat him like a Josh Allen type of situation, you know?
Yeah.
Because I agree. I think they potentially have an angle to get back to good. And I think this year what they should do also is explore the playbook a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Get a little experimental, see what things Levis is good at, you know, really, really find out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this last draft they had was literally Skronsky, offensive line, with pick number 11. Then they had Levis in the second, and then they had running back Tyjae Spears in the third. And then you got Josh Weil as a tight end, and then an offensive lineman in the sixth, and then a wide receiver in the seventh. So they've already gotten some offense going. So I think you just literally just do that again. Yeah. Just like more offensive line, another like receiver in the second or first instead of a quarterback, obviously, and then maybe like some late round defense. But like,
chase a tight end if you can.
Yeah, get a tight end,
something like that. Yeah,
and I think they can honestly be competing again in the division before you know it. So
I mean, it's a weak division, so generally,
yeah, like even with the Texans doing well, like they're not fully there yet. Like this could honestly, I could see the AFC South becoming kind of AFC East-ish, where you have like a lot of like competitive teams, even if it's the Jets with their defense.
Yeah,
you know, but I can see that type of thing happening. But you know, for now, they're bad.
But Baker Mayfield.
He went 18 of 29, 278, 2 TDs and a pick. I mean, he's still doing all right.
He's doing solid. Yeah.
He's got, in fact,
he's doing all right with no run game. Remember,
that's true too,
none at all.
2,100 yards, 14 TDs, and 5 interceptions. He's actually doing great.
Like, to put it into perspective, the Bucs had 77 rush yards, and that's good for them.
Yeah. They were even bad with Tom Brady with running the ball. Like, I don't know what they're doing with the run game, but
I mean, this Bucs team could actually make the playoffs and win the division. I think I feel like they might have the better chance right now if the Saints can't fucking make that shit work.
I think they should win the division.
Out of the bubble teams that you were talking about earlier, like they seem like they've got something going, you know, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we'll see what happens there. But then we had maybe the game of the week, Lions-Chargers.
Score point, insane. No care what else happened, just score point.
Yeah, exactly.
Big ball go to end of field.
Only 3 punts in the entire game.
Yep.
This reminded me of that, was it like Rams-Chiefs from a few years ago or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Like it was just nonstop offense. They were like going for it on fourth down. Bills-Chiefs, that's what it was.
There were 2 of those games. Yeah.
Lions had 533 yards. The Chargers had 421 yards.
Jesus
that is almost 1,000 yards of offense.
Yep. And it came down to a field goal by the Lions to win the game because they got the ball last.
Yep.
So in classic Chargers fashion, they lose a heartbreaker again. If you don't love that, you don't love Chargers football. Let me tell you.
Amen, brother.
I think someone said the Chargers have lost like 4 games by 3 points or less.
Yep.
So they could be like 8-1 right now.
They really could.
Justin Herbert is starting his career in a very Matt Ryan way. In like, if you look at
Rivers way,
Phillip Rivers,
right? Phillip Rivers too. Yeah, but I mean, but like even more so like a Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford kind of thing. Where like look at his stat line in a loss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 27 of 40, 323, 4 touchdowns.
In his career, he has a 67% completion percentage over the course of 4 years.
Yeah.
111 touchdowns and 40 interceptions.
Yeah.
And 16,400 yards, which that's really
4,000 average. Yeah, over 4,000 average.
Yeah. And they're doing nothing.
Yep.
Every week, it's like, how do the Chargers do it? How did they blow it this time? It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like a cultural thing at this point. They're used to blowing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Nothing like blowing.
I mean, in fairness, like the Lions do feel like an unstoppable force this year. So
they do, yeah. The Lions, I'm happy for the Lions, man. They're doing it. They're going to win the division. Although I did see someone made a funny meme on the NFC North meme war where it's like those Lord of the Rings and everyone's like fighting Sauron, who's the Packers, and then the Lions pick up the ring and they're like, throw it into the fire. And he's like, no, I think I will keep it. And it's like division leader now.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think what I like about the Lions is they're like the scrappy underdog team that's now finally good. Like the Dan Campbell, everyone's like, oh, it's the goofy head coach. But now he's like an actual good head coach. And then you've got like Jared Goff, who they're like, get rid of this guy. He's trash. And then they're like, oh, yeah, he'll be the bridge quarterback. But now he's like their actual quarterback and he's good. And it's just crazy. In fact, he's got 2,500 yards, 4 TDs, 5 picks on the season, which is pretty good. Although, actually, he's pretty close to Baker Mayfield number. At that point. But 5 picks is probably the best one because he's taking care of the football. But yeah, the Lions they're going to win the division.
Personally, I like Dan Campbell reminds me of like an offensive version of Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, actually less offensive, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like I just prefer the kind of coaches like that are big, that are players coaches, that are like, booster kind of guys, right? Like he makes everyone around him wanna play the game, rather than like the super straight faced professional Belichick. Like Belichick. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, like even with the Hard Knocks, like he's literally out there doing drills with the players. Like, dude, this guy's insane. But like, he shows you how much he cares, and that makes you want to like play for him because you're like, damn, this guy like really does care. He's not gonna yell at anybody. He's not gonna make you feel bad like you fucking it. But or if he does, you know where he's coming from. He just wants to win. So I think he's just a great coach.
Yeah.
So, and he's not afraid to go for it on 4th down. He does trick plays. They've done like numerous fake punts and stuff, and they work. So
it's just fun, man.
Yeah, it's just fun. So, go Lions.
Go Lions. And you know what? Here's another thing. As a neutral football fan in this case, I hope the Lions win the Super Bowl as a result of all of this style of football, because then that would mean more teams start fucking going for it on 4th down.
Robert, the Lions winning the Super Bowl would be fun and interesting. I'm sorry to tell you that the Chiefs will be winning the Super Bowl again.
Yep.
Okay.
It is the
unless Taylor Swift breaks up with Travis Kelce, then it won't happen.
Much like the groundhog seeing its shadow, we have to have Mahomes lift the Lombardi in order to have football next year. Okay.
We gotta.
But I mean, imagine if you had Taylor Swift on that Super Bowl podium. Kissing
they should just give it to
Lombardi.
her and not the team.
Dude, imagine if she breaks up with Travis Kelce and dates like Sam Laporta or something.
Oh fuck!
Then they play each other, and then boom,
that'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Speaking
or like
of
Beyonce,
kind of weird though.
That would be kind of weird.
It would be very
Wasn't
weird.
Taylor Swift like 30 something and Laporta's probably like 21?
That's
yes,
that
would be weird actually. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Laporta is 22. Taylor Swift is 33.
No, you know what we need? Here's what I'm saying. I think that we need a competing pop star on another team to bang one of the players.
Yeah, he can.
That'll get it really going.
Yeah, Sam Laporta can go with Ariana Grande, or actually, I think she's. I don't know. Whatever. Pick somebody, and throw them in. Then we had Cardinals Falcons, and Kyler Murray came back.
Freaking Murray, dude! Oh my god. He's so quick. Like, obviously he's very fast, but like the time it takes for him to go from 0 to Neum is like ridiculous. He is so elusive. It is insane.
Yeah, and that's coming off his ACL.
Yeah, this dude just tore his ACL. And he looks like this is his first game back, and he's running circles around dudes. They couldn't touch him.
Yeah,
I am mad that it felt like my entire division got to play the bad version of the Cardinals, and now we have to play the fucking good version of the Cardinals.
Yep. Yeah. Trey McBride balling out, the tight end, 131 yards, 8 catches.
Yeah,
so he's looking pretty. I remember in the draft, I wanted the Packers to get him, but the Cardinals got him, and he's looking pretty good. James Conner, 73 yards. Yep.
I feel like Kyler Murray is that, you know, the thing from Community with what's his name, Childish Gambino walking into the fire.
Oh yeah.
Oh
you know
God.
I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, like, because I mean, while he was gone, the Cardinals kind of like imploded.
Yeah,
briefly.
they really did. They traded people. They just stopped winning. Like it was really bad. But
you know his name's not Childish Gambino.
I always forget his. Yeah, I forget his real. I always only remember his rapper name.
It's Donald Glover. Just so
Donald Glover. Okay, thank you. No one said it, so I still didn't remember.
I was wondering how long to leave you dangling.
To leave you to dry.
Yeah.
But with Kyler Murray back, I think they could probably get some decent wins in there.
They don't want them, though.
They don't want them, but I don't think the players care. Because, like, who do they play? They play the Texans. Oh, boy. Then the Rams. That could be a win. Steelers. I mean, you never know.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, remember, you can't beat the Steelers. You're just not allowed.
That's true. 49ers. That's a loss. Probably. Bears. They could beat the Bears. Eagles. They probably lose. And then Seahawks. That's close, but probably a loss. So I think they can probably get, like, 5-6 wins.
Yeah,
but
I hurt their draft position.
It would, but
also, isn't Kyler on his last year?
I don't know.
Didn't we just look this up? I swear,
I think we did.
We probably did.
I think we did look this up.
It was probably me asking the question too. Honestly,
yeah.
Kyler is on a 4-year deal with the Cardinals that goes through 2027.
Yeah, so he just signed a big deal.
Yeah, he got extension. Yeah. In July. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, July last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna be there a while, but I mean, he's pretty good when he's healthy.
He's real good. Yeah. But are the Cardinals?
And the Falcons aren't good.
Nope.
No,
they are not. In fact,
that line is kind of insane.
Yes.
How did they score 23 points? Wait, what?
I don't know because I didn't watch. Taylor Heineke threw a touchdown. Bijan Robinson ran for a touchdown. Yeah. And then Desmond Ritter ran for a touchdown. So, I mean, this is really all the Falcons can do. This is also why the Packers lost to the Falcons because, as you saw from watching the Steelers, they just ran the ball, and then our defense is like, wait, hold on a second.
You don't want to do that.
Stop this.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So
I remember there was some drama where the Falcons fans were upset that Bijan Robinson wasn't getting the ball a lot. So
and he got it a lot.
Over 20 carries.
He did good.
And he did good. The problem is that's all they can do. They're kind of like the Titans, or it's Derrick Henry or bust. And then if he's busting, boy, he's busting, dude.
It doesn't make him feel good.
He's not feeling good.
Don't understand why this team didn't draft Will Levis. Like, it's going to be a mystery for the rest of my life. Even if Will Levis is bad, it's like, why did they think Desmond Ritter was a good quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know.
I watched him play like 2 games, and I was just like, no thanks, man. Like, and then they were like, he's our starter, and I'm like, oh, this is going to go great.
I don't know what they were thinking, but they don't have a quarterback, so that's that. And that was that game. So then we had a thing. Yep.
I know, bud.
Then we had Danny DeVito getting shit on by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dude.
Right.
Although I want to preempt this by saying that Danny DeVito has 4 total touchdowns on the season. Zach Wilson has 5.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's true. He also has thrown for 86 yards and 1 interception in addition to those 2 touchdowns he had today and then the other touchdown. The best stat line from this game is the Giants were 0 of 12 on 3rd down.
Oof.
They did not convert 1 3rd down, but they converted 2 4th downs.
The Cowboys had, sit down, brace yourself. 640 yards of total offense.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. That might be the entirety of the Giants' season yardage put together.
That might be a record.
It is a nightmare. It is a living nightmare at this team. Like, I think we all thought like the Cardinals would be the worst team. Yeah. The Giants are the worst, and it's not even close. They're worse than the Panthers, and I think it's by a lot.
Yeah.
And the coach won Coach of the Year last year.
Yeah, we're going to look back on that one.
And they won a playoff game.
Yeah.
Variability is something we might need to all learn about. Like,
yeah.
So, NFL, Rob, 640 yards is in the top 10 for historical single game performances. But I'm going to let you take a stab at what game from this year broke the record for most yards on offense in a single game.
We know what that one was.
Yeah, got to be the Dolphins, right?
That's right, with 726 yards of total offense on September 24th, 2023.
Wow. And that's number 1.
That's number 1.
Wow. And that's funny, too, because this year offense in general is down.
Yeah, except for these 2 random outbursts.
Yeah, huge outliers. That's hilarious.
I just
yeah, he thinks so too.
Very upsetting.
I just don't know how this team went from that to the they were at least competitive. It felt like Brian Dable or whatever his name. It was just like, he's taking all these players and he's like making them great, almost like a Lions situation, right? Like, wow, he's really turning something and nothing into something. But then this year, the nothing became nothing.
Yeah, it turns out Brian Dable was reading all those headlines and like quietly smirking and shutting up. And just letting people be like, yeah, I'm great. I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
What happened?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Daniel Jones he's like dead. Like, Daniel
They've had
Jones,
a lot of injuries this year. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's got to be something else, right? Because I don't know. Like, the defense, is the defense worse or bad? Like, Tyrod Taylor almost
gave up 49, so
yeah. I don't know. Giants fans, what happened? I guess maybe the offensive line. They lose offensive linemen.
Oh, their offensive line is one of the worst O lines in history. I think.
Well, and remember, he won Coach of the Year last year because their team was so bad on paper that they weren't supposed to win anything. And it's not like they improved much in the offseason. They're still really bad on paper. So I guess really this is just kind of them, regressing to the mean.
Yeah. I think that is pretty much what it is. I'm just trying to find their off-season moves because I want to see if they lost anybody important but yeah, I don't think they did much. I mean, their receiving core is also just terrible. Like the O-line's terrible, the receiving core's terrible. It's bad. But I don't know, man. It's they're bad. They're done. They might get the number 1 pick if the Panthers can't win another game.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know when the last time the Giants had a number 1 overall pick.
Eli Manning?
Maybe never.
Wait, it wasn't number 1 though.
That wasn't theirs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually don't. I don't know if they've ever been a number 1 pick.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's yep. So then we had the Seahawks Commanders, which was also a good game.
Annoying.
Yep.
I picked the Commanders, and they had a chance to win, and then their defense did the classic stop-play defense, win game important online.
I think that's been 3 Commanders games this year.
It's just okay, it's a tie game with 30 seconds left. Don't let them get into field goal range. Oh, you let Metcalf get open for 2 30-yard pass plays for free? Why?
Yeah.
Why are you not double covering DK Metcalf?
Yeah,
what are you doing? Why stop?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. That's really the Commanders' way. The Commanders as a franchise really don't know what they're doing. Geno Smith looked good. 369 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Geno season.
And I mean, this is a close game. In fact, the Seahawks saved Rob. If he would have lost this game, he would have been the all-time lock loser. But the Seahawks lock paid off.
Thank God. Thank you, Geno. Thank you.
Yep, Geno saving you. And yeah, Seahawks 6-3, looking like they're gonna be a wild card team. And yeah, that's
pretty much it. Yeah, go
that's
Geno.
pretty much it. Go Geno.
Go Geno. Geno season, baby.
Yep. Raiders, Jets. Woo!
Oh,
Raiders,
baby.
Jets. Sorry, I just looked it up. Also, the Giants haven't been the first overall pick since 1965.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that is crazy. Also, wait, hold
that
on.
player's probably dead.
One last stat. I want to give a shout out. Sam Howell actually had 29 of 44, 312 yards, 3 TDs, no picks.
I like what I'm seeing from Sam Howell.
Yeah,
I feel like he could be I mean, he has a good start. He looks better than Bryce Young.
He does look better than Bryce Young, actually. In fact,
the most sacked, most pressured, most hit quarterback in the league, and he's still like one of the better performers.
Yeah, he's still got 2,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions on the year. Which, with dealing with all
that's gotta be like top 10 in the league. Actually,
it is
volume-wise.
number 1 in yardage, and it is indeed.
That's impressive.
Aside from, because he used to be Kirk Cousins, but now, Sam Howell, most passes attempted, most passes completed, most passing yards. Like that's pretty good. And I forget that he is a rookie.
Well, he's technically not, but it is basically his rookie year.
Yeah,
because he started 1 game last season.
Yeah, that's right. But it's, hey, it's definitely a guy you could have hope for going forward. So
yeah, I mean, I think they found their franchise QB, right?
Yeah,
like that's what it
at
looks
least
like.
Got to give him a shot. So
if you can do that kind of, not everybody can do that kind of volume, right? Like
like the players that played in this Jets Raiders game.
Yeah, I was hoping that we could talk about other things instead of this fucking game.
Hey, the Jets suck.
Yeah, they do. Real bad.
Remember when they beat the Bills?
Yeah, remember when they beat the Eagles?
Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
And they played pretty competitive against the Chiefs.
Yeah, they probably should have won that Chiefs game. There was a shitty penalty in that one, I remember.
Yeah.
Remember when I keep saying that I have literally no idea how to judge the Jets because there is no rhyme or reason to how they win or lose games. And I mean, it kind of continues. I want to say we have had 1 offensive touchdown in the past 3 games.
Go Jets.
I believe Krendor also shared a stat in our Discord, which was broadcast on the game, which is that this is the worst red zone offense in the NFL since 1991.
Yep.
Which by the way, if you're going back to 1991, that includes both of the 0-16 teams that the only 0-16 teams in NFL history. The Jets red zone offense is worse than both of those. So
this game was so fucking annoying to watch because the Jets would drive down the field, actually look good on offense, and then get a penalty and ruin their drive. That was like 4 fucking drives this game.
Yeah.
It was the Jets going down the field. Hey, we got offense. We're doing well. I mean, they had 365 yards of offense. That's more than the Raiders had.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was going great. And then they'd be like, holding. Oh, holding. It was holding every time, too.
Yep.
Real fun. It was just annoying, man. Like, the Jets should have won this game by like 2 scores.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's this. I wouldn't say that this loss is on Zach. But. And before the but, and he has clearly improved. He's a better QB. Like, he seems like a relatively competent QB, good enough to be a backup in this league at least.
Yeah.
Right. But he's still not good.
No.
You know?
He missed some bad throws that would have been scores. It was,
threw a bad pick. This offense is unwatchable. And it is, thank God we're finally out of that 3-week stretch of forcing the Jets into prime time. And
it's
now
fine. Now we're going to
1
force
PM.
the Patriots into prime time.
That's good.
Oh,
we can flex. We can flex now.
Oh God, I hope they flex.
Don't worry, they're not going to flex this week's Monday night game, which is, hold on, let me tell you. Or no, sorry, Sunday night game, Vikings-Broncos.
Oh, well, you know what? At least it's Josh Dobbs, and
the Broncos have been doing better. You know?
True.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that one too.
Well, hey, next Monday night is Bears-Vikings.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That's
yeah.
But
yeah. So the Jets, the Raiders. It's not like they really won this game so much as
the Jets lost.
Yeah, and also, neither team. I don't.
7 field goals.
Oh, after probably I'm not a smart math man, so I don't know how long it's been since 2009, but long enough that I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Can we talk about the Hail Mary too? Because
God,
Tyler Conklin, what the fuck were you doing?
I'm so fucking pissed because Garrett Wilson runs halfway across the goddamn end zone, gets into perfect position. The ball is headed directly for Garrett Wilson's hands, and Tyler Conklin comes in to deflect it.
He deflects it. Like,
he literally plays defense on the ball against Garrett Wilson.
He is totally allowed to jump up and try to catch the ball, but he jumps up and swats it.
He bats it. Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, Garrett Wilson, I don't even think Garrett Wilson should have caught. Tyler Conklin should have caught the ball. Like, Garrett Wilson was being insane and flying over like a ninja over everyone to catch it. But the ball was thrown at Tyler Conklin and there wasn't a defender there to defend it. So why isn't he just jumping up and catching the ball?
We've got other questions about CJ Uzomah with a bunch of shitty penalties back to back, and also drops, and also, the whole look. Again, in the Jets fandom, people are rightfully pissed at our coaching staff, Nathaniel Hackett, Robert Saleh, and Joe Douglas, our GM, because look, Robert Saleh seems like a nice guy. He does. He seems like an excellent defensive coach, right?
Yeah.
But holy shit, is he in over his goddamn head? And the record is the record, man. The record is the fucking record. And Joe Douglas, not even approaching a 500 record, let alone a winning one. It is massively losing for both of them. There are people in the Jets fan base that are like, this is the best GM that we've had for years. And you know what? Maybe that's true, but the fear of it being somehow worse does not necessitate us staying with what is clearly very bad,
Yeah.
And again, there are bright spots. Again, Robert Saleh's defense seems real good, but damn,
it's one of the best defenses of all time. It's actually so good.
I
actually think it's somehow underrated how good this defense is.
It is. I actually think the stats too aren't fully there for matching up to how good this defense really actually is. But with that said, our first round pick is still not fucking playing because we drafted, what do you know, a D lineman. The same thing that we've drafted first round for maybe 9 of the last 15 years. After a certain point, doesn't someone in the building go, maybe we should go a different direction?
No, that's
maybe
Green Bay
this
Packer
hasn't
drafting
worked
right
out
there. Why would you draft to help your Hall of Fame quarterback? You won't do that. God, can't do that.
Yeah. Well, we got him now. So
yeah.
and then we
with
also
the theme of drafting defense.
Yep.
To be fair, we stole your draft pick. Remember?
That's true. I mean, Joe Douglas did come out
he's really
later
good,
say,
so I'm sorry.
Well, that's the thing, and maybe this is a clue here because Joe Douglas then later came out and said, no, he wasn't even on our board.
Brother.
Well, so here's the thing. At this point, I think I fucking believe him because he's good. The whole fan base knew that's the guy that we were going for, and then and then it seemed like he was taken away. And
even
I think
we
Joe Douglas
knew
was
that
telling...
you should have been going for it because
exactly.
we traded above you because we thought that you would take it.
Yeah, so I think Joe Douglas is being truthful in that he straight up didn't have that person on their board, and then. God, this is what I mean. This is just what I mean. This is what I mean. This is the kind of shit. This is the kind of stress that I don't need as a football fan. I'm just a football fan. I'm here to watch a fun, enjoyable excursion in the world of professional sports of men in tight clothing beating the shit out of each other. But it has been just unbearable to watch for the past 15 years. And can we please fire the whole goddamn building and get an offensive team in here? And the thing is, I know that they're probably not gonna, because Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, They got Nathaniel Hackett and Robert Saleh, like all of these guys recruited Aaron Rodgers. They're not just gonna pull.
Don't worry, man. He'll be back by December, is what he's saying now. Yeah, he said week 8, then he said week 10. Now he's saying December. Then he's going to say the playoffs, and then they're going to miss the playoffs. And he's going to be like, "Well, I would have come back if the playoffs happened, but we all know that's bullshit." He's not coming back.
This year.
I genuinely don't think he'd help the Jets. Like, I think he'd just get pressured.
I don't know.
And he'd just start yelling at everyone. Like, they can't block.
Our O-line is horrible. Well, I mean, it is one of those things where, like, Zach Wilson clearly is not the greatest QB in the world. I'm sure a good QB will be able to address some of the issues of the O-line just simply through calling protections and adjusting his play style. But, our O-line is just bad. It's just horrible. Yeah. And, the truth is, we had Corey Davis retire on us, and we didn't make any moves at improving the offense in the offseason. We got Garrett Wilson and we had Breece Hall the year before, and we were like, yeah, that's good. You need more than that, man. If you look at other teams that are winning, they get more. They don't draft a D lineman in the first round so that he can sit on the fucking bench because we have 11 D linemen. We have more D linemen than any fucking team in the league.
Gotta have depth, Rob. Gotta have depth.
Oh, God, we have depth. We have depth, but we can't score any goddamn points.
You guys should try benching one of your skill players on offense and instead stack another D lineman on top of your existing D lineman.
Yeah, why don't you just tell your D lineman to play O line?
Yeah, that would be nice. I would like to get Will McDonald on the O line at this point, since we're fucking deep into our bench here on our O line, because our already shitty O line is also injured, and we don't have depth there. There's no depth on that line.
Well, luckily, Robert Saleh said he's sticking with Zach Wilson. He's actually playing pretty well, he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, speaking of the AFC East.
We had Broncos Bills.
Oh, my game of the year. Game of the year. You guys missed one of the greatest, worst games I've ever seen.
I did fall asleep on this.
This game was so bad and it was so good. It went underneath the threshold of so bad it's good, and it was legitimately hilarious. The Bills could not stop turning the ball over. They just couldn't stop. They had 5 turnovers, 1 on downs, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions. They were fumbling the ball so much they fumbled the ball to themselves, and it was hilarious. Dude was literally running. The ball fumbles, bounces against the ground. He then picks it back up and continues running. It was like a basketball dribble. It was this game was so good. If you want the real, also this game had the catch of the year. I gotta mention that.
Yeah.
Literally, not only the catch of the year, but the throw of the year and the catch of the year. Russell Wilson to
Cortland Sutton, right?
Sutton.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You not like there's putting it where only your receiver can get it, and then there's putting it where only your receiver can get it in like 1 pixel of the screen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and if he's any further out, he's not going to catch it.
Yeah.
And that was what that was. Insane.
Grabbing a screenshot of the moment because I completely agree. Like, this is an insane catch, and here you go.
According to Next Gen stats, it was the hardest catch of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous catch.
It's like a Santonio Holmes Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
The way he like drug his like right foot, his right foot, it was like it's like he barely had a chance to get that right foot in, and he got it in.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful catch, and like the only good thing that happened all game, because the rest of the game was a fucking clown show.
Yeah.
Denver couldn't really move the ball that well. Buffalo could move the ball and then proceeded to turn it over and over. The Broncos had 4 drives start in Buffalo territory and came away with 6 points in those 4 drives. That's really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And then the end of the game, we have the Broncos lining up for a game-winning field goal, and the Bills. Oh God, the Broncos miss the field goal. He misses it. But the Bills had 12 men on the field.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Not even like one guy running off. They just had 12 dudes. How does that happen? Out there. Oh, and then they get the game-winning field goal, and the Bills fire their offensive coordinator, and now it's like panic mode. The Bills have the hardest remaining schedule in football.
Yeah,
we literally were here last week saying this was a must-win game for the Bills.
This was their playoffs. The
playoffs have to win. It's a literal playoff game, and they lost.
They literally the only winnable game for sure, I'd say, is the Patriots, and even then they lost to the Patriots earlier in the season.
Yeah, you have the Jets coming up, that's not going to be an easy game.
Like, they've already lost.
They already lost once.
Yeah.
And then you have the Eagles.
Yep.
The Chiefs.
Yep.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Chargers. Then the Pats. Then the Pats. And then the Dolphins. Their schedule's a nightmare. It is all of the best teams besides the 49ers.
Dude, I just want to say, I want to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the season. Not the Bills of old. I was calling it. I was calling it preseason, before the season, and the off season.
Here's the issue.
Just not...
The issue is Josh Allen. Like they fired their offensive coordinator. I don't think that was the problem.
Yeah.
Josh Allen needs to stop throwing fucking interceptions, and they need to stop turning the ball over. That's really their big issue.
He's the number 1 turnover interception quarterback at 11.
And I think Brian Dable was able to like keep him in check while he was there, but like since Dable left, which is only 2 years now, but like last year the Bills looked to me like a different team, like not as dominant. And it's one of those things where when you're in the division, when you watch divisional rivals, you know them better than other teams.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And and I don't know. I think it's coming to a head now here.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do about it, because it is an ongoing issue, and really what they need to do is reload their offense. But the problem is that they're basically at the place where like the Chiefs are in their window, right? Yeah. Where they have to start reloading. But the problem is they didn't win anything.
Yeah.
So that's a major issue, because like the windows don't necessarily get extended. They can, but they don't necessarily get extended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's Josh Allen. The weird part is, even though he's got the most interceptions in the league, he's at a 70.3% completion percentage, which is tied for second with Lamar Jackson. Only Dak Prescott's higher. So like he's accurate and he's completing stuff, but he I guess from that stat read is that he's just making dumb decisions. Like he'll do well and he's like, all right, he's efficiently moving, and he threw a pick.
Yep.
So like
he's a gunslinger, Yeah. He's the kind of guy that he's gonna be like, I could fit that ball in between 3 defenders. I could do it. Yeah. And he'll trust himself on those, and it doesn't always work out.
And then before you know it, you're watching him in the playoffs against the Rams throw 6 interceptions in 2001, and then screwing over a school and building a volley or the people. It's the gunslinger way.
Yep.
So they could honestly have 7 wins by the end of the season, and it wouldn't be that surprising, which is crazy. Yep. They might have as many wins as the Packers do. If the Packers, I don't like that. That would be, but Buffalo, man, that's rough.
I still think they'll bounce back a bit, but I don't think that they're not the like guaranteed Super Bowl track type of team.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
So many people on the internet would say, you can't fire your offensive coordinator in the middle of the year. You can't do that. The Bills are literally doing that to save their season.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate, just in general, like in this direction, I'm pointing on just like out that way. I hate.
I sure do wish we could fire Nathaniel Hackett too. I feel you.
Nah, you can't do that.
Say something. I feel like we might need to give Russell Wilson his flowers because this dude's actually having a pretty damn good year. 68% completion percentage, 1,800 yards, 18 TDs, 4 picks.
Yep.
And 104 quarterback rating on the season. It's pretty good, man.
He's back.
Still kind of in the playoff picture.
Very much in the playoff picture. I got to keep winning, and look, we're a little over halfway now, and no team is really eliminated except for the Patriots, the Panthers, and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And the Giants and the Bears. Sorry. Everyone else is still technically in it. So
I want to gloat again on
29 in that game, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I want to gloat again on this because Russell Wilson, he had one down year with a shitty coach.
Yeah. That is true. Yes.
So,
they're on a winning streak now. So we'll see. We'll see if the Broncos keep rolling or not. But they beat the Chiefs and the Bills. They beat the Packers, but that's always whatever. In fact, we should have won that. But much like the thing you mentioned with the Jets, we got a holding call and then we went out of field goal range and then shit ourselves. But beating the Chiefs, beating them 24-9 is pretty impressive. And then, to beat the Bills, even though, again, they should have lost, but then the Bills are dumb and put 12 men on the field. But we'll see. I don't know. The crazier things have happened. And speaking of crazy things, it's time for the Power Rankings.
Power Rankings. Power Rankings.
Power Rankings.
Power Rankings.
Power Rankings.
Guys, which segment are we in?
Power Ranking.
I thought it was the Melvin Gordon.
Oh,
segment.
yeah, you're right.
Power
The Melvin Gordon.
Rankings.
Is he playing? I know he's on the team,
Ravens,
right?
yeah.
Does he get snaps?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
But when he does, we will let you know.
Yes, the Power Rankings.
I agree,
yes.
Honestly.
Top 5 teams, starting with Rob.
Let us go with the Chiefs.
Yes. Apollo.
Eagles.
Yes. Bear. I don't know if he's here. He's muted.
She said the 49ers.
Yep. Okay. Dogs 1 for 1. Rob.
The Lions.
Yep. And Apollo.
Whoa, would the Ravens still be in if they lost to the Browns? Okay, the Ravens.
Oh, well, yeah.
I didn't realize you were going to draw that one out.
You should not be the host of Jeopardy.
What is the Bear? Yes. I was going to say ball, but okay.
There you go. Now we have the thinnest dink.
The thinnest dink has to be the Denver Broncos?
Good guess, but nope.
I'm gonna say the Minnesota Vikings.
Nope.
Oh, you piece of shit, Ed.
Fuck, man. The Houston Texans?
It is the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Rising
Baby.
from 15th to 10th.
Oh,
Wow.
top 10.
Yeah, top 10.
Wow.
But now we got some fat doinks.
Oh,
shit.
fat doink. Fat doink. Give me the Tennessee Titans for the doink.
That is incorrect.
Fuck me.
I will take the Buffalo Bills.
That is also incorrect.
Ah, shit.
Give me for the fat doink, you gotta give me the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That is correct. The Jaguars have fallen from 4th to 8th.
Oof.
They were 4th.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very sad about that.
Sorry, where were we at? Top 5?
Fat doinks.
Yeah, we're doing
doinks.
it. We're doing it.
Give me a doink.
Let's go with, man, yeah, there's a lot of good doink candidates this week, huh?
We already know it, so you're gonna look like a fool if you don't.
Yeah, idiot.
Man, let's go with the Jets.
You are correct. It is the Jets falling from 18th to 22nd. There's one more doink.
Oh, there's more. Oh, we said the Jags already. That was right. There's more.
Yeah, you
Everybody
didn't
fell
tell us
four.
that there were more.
He did say doinks, but I didn't really
say
understand.
doinks.
Yeah, that's
what-
fair. Yeah. I don't read between the lines on
Fuck,
this
man, another doink. Give me the
This one's
the
tricky.
Falcons.
It is the Falcons.
Yes!
Falling
Wow.
from 20 to 24.
3 for 3.
Yeah, look at
Nice.
that. True or false? There are no teams with a losing record in the top half of the NFL.com power rankings.
That sounds like it's too specific not to be true.
There are no teams with a losing record. Which team with a losing record would be in the top half? The only ones could be like the Falcons or the Raiders.
Maybe
so
the
yeah,
Bucks.
I think that's true.
It is true. The Chargers are the highest ranked team with a losing record, currently at 18th.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
I think they're actually much higher than that, but they just keep losing.
Yep.
Yep. The New England Patriots doinked again this week, putting them in the bottom 3 of the NFL.com Power Rankings Bible of the Internet for the first time ever.
Jeez.
Prior to this season, what was the lowest the Patriots had ever been ranked?
Oh, I'm going to go with like 21st.
All
Wait, if it's the first time they've been in the bottom 3, wouldn't it just be one above the bottom 3?
I mean, not necessarily.
Not necessarily,
Yeah.
no.
What were they
could be,
ranked
but-
last week? That might be the
yeah.
answer.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, because I can't think of any other time that they would have been ranked this
It's
low
not
other
last
than
week.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
so
mean,
This
was not this year?
This was week 17 of the 2020 to 2021 power rankings when Cam Newton was quarterbacking them.
That's gotta be like 23rd.
Rob?
I think I would say that they got to 27 with Cam Newton.
That was close. It was 26th.
Okay,
26.
okay.
Yep. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad time.
True or false? After back-to-back wins, the Josh Dobbs Vikings are now ranked higher than they had been at any point this year under Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd say false.
Yeah. False.
It is technically false. The Vikings are ranked 15th, which is tied with, not higher than.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean,
Interesting.
hard to argue with the results.
Yeah. And finally, in his write-up, Eric Ed and Eddie tries
Edmund.
to offer solace to Jets fans by listing some positives of Zach Wilson's recent performances, but which of the following is not one of his praises? A, starting to gain confidence with big throws. B, trusting his playmakers. C, using his legs more. Or D, cutting back on the turnovers.
Oh, dude, this is absolutely like a trick question where it involves all of those phrases. Like that, every single one of those was in the write-up.
I would say D.
All right.
What was A and B? Trusting his star players.
Starting to gain confidence with big throws, trusting his playmakers, using his legs more, cutting back on turnovers.
I'm gonna say it's C. No, because he uses like more all game. A.
It is B, trusting his
Fuck.
playmakers.
God
Ed tries to offset some of the blame on Wilson by pointing to the penalty troubles the offense had this week.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
effort to
That's
go
what I said.
through. Like the Pixel wrote like 4 very convincing phrases that we would have been willing to believe.
Yep. And those are the NFL.com Power Rankings.
Power
Rankings.
This has been the Power Rankings brought to you by Boost Mobile. That's right, Boost Mobile coming back exclusively for listeners of this show.
Yeah, we are in talks with that Norwegian amusement park, but
we're
still working out the details.
For the Pick'em, sponsored by Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Get the new microwave wingtips.
Get the new infinite buffalo wings.
We've got them fresh out of the freezer.
We've got burnt ends, but they're really burnt.
In fact, we didn't do this on purpose. This is just trying to save face.
These used to be steaks.
All right, here we go. Pick'em stats. We got a decent week for me, actually. I went 10-5. Tied with Discord for the best, and the assistant coach, Rubber Ducky. Followed by Apollo. Oh, wait, no, Bear at 9-6. Apollo did bad this week at 8-7 and 8-7 with Randy. And Rob went 8-6-1 with that tie.
Dumbass Commanders.
It was almost the tie, though. I will point out.
Dude, I was really
to be fair, both of my 1v4 picks were lost on the final play of the game. So
they were close games.
I will say that that's kind of bullshit.
Yep.
I'll give you 0.1 point.
NFC Feast. Bear had a great success predicting all 4 NFC East teams this season. 10-0 on the Giants. Commanders 9-1. Eagles 7-2. Cowboys 6-3.
I'll give you my secret to the Giants games. I pick them to lose.
Yeah.
Well, except you picked them to win once, right? Because they have one win, don't they?
Yeah,
twice. 2 wins.
Twice, I guess.
2 wins. Yeah,
Oh.
you picked them.
Yeah, look at that.
You see what I mean?
Oh, that's cool. I'll take that.
I mean, what's more impressive is predicting the 4 and 5 Commanders with only 1 incorrection.
That is
kind of
actually impressive.
True, actually, yeah.
That's probably the most impressive. This is the first time Rob has ever predicted a tie. Apollo is the only one to never predict a tie.
Oh, dude, you better. You got to do one before the end of the year.
I don't know if I ever will.
Come on.
You got it.
Come on with
every
it.
500 games.
And imagine how fun it would be if you got it. It'd be way better than getting a Pick'em's crown for a single season. Imagine you're the guy that picked the tie right.
Here's the thing. I care more about getting a perfect week than predicting a tie correctly. And if I predict a tie, that is an automatic non-perfect week.
Unless the tie breaks the perfect week.
If I got a tie prediction and a perfect week, I'm
You'd have to retire.
That would be
retiring
amazing.
from living at that point. Like, I don't need to live anymore.
That'd be incredible.
Stealing
honestly.
Valor. Krendor and Apollo have disagreed on 8 of 9 Steelers games.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Krendor is currently the best record predicting the Steelers at 6-3. Apollo is the worst at 2-7.
It seems like picking the Steelers incomprehensibly is much like their winning incomprehensible.
Yep.
Listen, I'm 6-3 on those Steelers.
Wait, actually, hold on. Just for one thing, too. For the last one, I wanted to say, I don't remember when Discord picked a tie, but that's hilarious that that's happened. That means it was perfect 50-50.
Yeah, but then furthermore, I'm pretty sure what that means is they picked 50-50 initially, and then usually they do a tiebreaker in the Discord by like voting with reactions to the tie. And I think that also was a tie. So they're like, all right, fuck it, we just pick a tie.
Yeah, I think it was like a really bad game, too. Like Giants, Commanders, or some shit.
Yeah. Making picks based on points per game has been much more successful than using points against per game. 78 and 56, 58%. Points against is 50%, and point differential is 59%.
Interesting.
I like how everyone usually gets like a bonus stat to themselves each week, and mine was just like underneath Krendor's like, yeah, he's shit at this. Like, really bad.
Stepchild peeking out from the bottom of the stat sheet.
And this was the only the 8th time in 932 games that Discord has picked against everyone else. In that same time, Krendor's done it 56 times, second only to Randy in 629 games.
It makes sense because either the Discord has to pick an upset, which is very difficult for Discord to do because it's a vote, or we have to all pick an upset, which is also kind of difficult to do.
And I love
although we work ourselves up into a fury sometimes, so I can see
that is true.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I love that you are statistically close to Randy's amount of times having picked against.
That is pretty great.
That's fucking remarkable.
And
And you have a much worse fucking record at it than Randy.
100%. Oh, yeah, big time.
That is amazing, too, frankly.
Discord retakes sole possession of first ahead of Dumb Dog. The ACs approach second place as Krendor ties Bear Taffy for fourth ahead of Alpaca Patrol. And Randy nearly gets back the 50% in the standings.
He's right there, dude. He's right there. He's going to make it.
I'll be back. I don't know if it'll be this week, though, but I'll be back.
Yep. So let's go ahead and do some pickup.
Time to pick them.
It's time
to pick them.
So,
sponsored by...
We're not sponsored by anybody except
Bananas.
Patreon. Patreon.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Sponsored by Patreon.
We're sponsored by fruit.
Hey, brother. Me too, man.
I'd kill for a Honeycrisp right now. Big thanks to our assistant coach of the week, Garfield, who has a very impressive season record of 92 and 42.
Dude, the Garfield?
Yeah. Wow.
It's actually Garfield the cat.
It's actually Garfield.
He's going to have a movie, I heard, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh. It looks bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
Starring Chris Cat.
It is inexplicably starring Chris Pratt again.
Of course.
You could also be an assistant coach of the week on the show and have your picks featured on the show. If you'd like to do so, check out the Patreon link down in the YouTube description, or just search Patreon for Three Guys and a Bear. You can pledge at the assistant coach level, connect the Discord, and you too got picked on the show.
He just said words. All right.
I sure did.
Here we go, starting with Bengals Ravens, an actual good game.
Yeah. I have to keep picking the Ravens for my own sanity because it would be great for me. If they lost, then this division gets even more fucked, as previously stated. But because of that, I have to pick them to win so that I don't get sad when they do win.
I'm voting for the division to be fucked, so I'm going Bengals. I want the chaos.
I do too. I'm going Bengals.
I legit think the Bengals will win this game, but I'm picking the Ravens, which is a stupid thing to do. But I have to.
So my gut reaction was to pick the Bengals, but then my second reaction was to question whether or not my gut reaction was a result of hearing the word Bengals first. And as a result, I'm going to pick the Ravens because I'm going with the third reaction.
You know, I'm reminded of last week when I said I think the Bears are going to win, but I'm going to go Panthers, and then I did that, and the Bears won.
Man, I'm having similar debates in my head, Rob. I think the Ravens are actually the right pick this week. Garfield went Ravens too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going Ravens. Actually, I'm going to change my mind.
Goodness.
Oh fuck.
Do I have a 1v everybody?
I think the Discord will pick Ravens, so I think you're going to have a 1v4.
All right, let's go. Building up that stat.
Man, now the fourth reaction is I want to go back to Bengals.
Yes. This is the pattern usually.
Yeah.
Well, Steelers Browns.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Can we get a clean sweep Steelers picks? Can we please? I just love it when it happens. It makes me happy every time we do it.
I'm so sorry, Bear. I'm going to do something you're not going to like. I'm going to lock the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, my
God. Oh, shit. And he's really bad at that, statistically.
That's
man.
true.
The reason I'm doing this is because I just don't think, I'm sorry. I don't think there's a universe that the Steelers can be allowed to be 7-3 with this bad of a team. I don't
agree.
think it is allowed.
That's a good point.
I agree. I'm going Browns.
I don't want to pick the Browns. Don't make me.
Do it. Pick the Steelers.
You don't have. I mean, I don't think that this is going to be. I actually do think it might be a blowout. Actually.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to look at the stats because we saw one.
Keep in mind, the only reason the Steelers beat the Browns is because of 2 turnovers and and we also killed Nick Chubb.
The Browns are one of the best defenses in football right now.
I think that is kind of not true, but that's okay. I maintain that they give up a fuck ton of points regardless of how good their defense is.
Yeah.
I'm picking Pittsburgh. I mostly just want to keep my pick against streak going.
There you go.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, they could win.
Steelers. Wait, who are they playing now?
Rob's just like writing shit.
Sorry, I was looking at I'm in another world. Yeah, I'll take the Browns. No, you know what it is? I got turned around because we had that other stat that was like points per game is 58%.
That's true. Yep.
The Browns are at 23 points per game, and the Steelers are at 17.3.
That is bad.
So, yeah.
Garfield also chose Steelers though, so I feel
okay.
True.
Raiders, Dolphins. I'm going to lock the Dolphins.
That's a good lock.
That's a good lock.
Yeah,
good lock.
Yeah. Locking those Dolphins.
Garfield also went Dolphins.
Yep. Bears, Lions.
Locking the Lions.
Ooh, locking the Lions.
Yep. Lions.
Yep.
Lions.
It's a divisional.
It is
so
divisional.
That's scary.
Yeah.
But also, come on.
Yeah. Lions are on a tear.
They're on a tear. Titans, Jaguars.
Lions as well. I'm going to go Jags.
Did I pick the Lions Bears? I didn't.
You did not. I just
I will pick the Lions. Sorry,
Okay,
I got a DM as we were
got
distracted. I'm picking the Lions. Are you crazy?
Was it Taylor Swift?
It was.
Nice,
oh my goodness, you dog.
I'm gonna go Jaguars. I'm gonna go Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it because the Jags are like fraudulent, but I think they're gonna. They are superior to the Titans, so I'm picking the Jags.
I said clean sweep Lions, clean sleep. Oh God, clean sweep Jags.
Clean sleep.
Clean sleep.
Hold on. Wait. Let me just be certain. The Jags, and they are playing against the Titans, of course, as everyone knows.
Of course, yes.
And the Titans talk about that. I will indeed be taking the Jaguars.
All right, very cool. Chargers, Packers.
I feel like the Chargers are better than they look, but they're like destined to lose. Like the opposite of the Steelers. Yes. They're a good team destined to lose. We're a bad team destined to win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Chargers though, because I don't think the Packers are gonna be able to stop Austin Eckler at all.
I agree
with that.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go Chargers.
This might even be like a blowout.
Yeah,
I agree, and I am going Chargers. Plus, if we win, I won't care because I'll be like, we won.
Hey, now he's getting my strategy.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
If Herbert throws 4 touchdowns again, there's no way the Packers can counter that.
Yes,
there's not.
That's another clean sweep with Garfield Chargers as well. So that's 3 in a row, I think.
Yep.
And I think
going the other way.
It might. Well, this next game's not as easy as it might look. Actually,
Cardinals, Texans.
Oh, Kyler Murray. I know the Texans are the hot team right now, but I'm pretty sure Kyler's about to make a statement. This dude is real fucking good still.
He might drop his nuts on them. That is fair.
It's true. I'm going Texans.
I fear for the Texans because I feel like we might be hyping too much, and it could still be some variability.
I also think that's happening.
Yeah.
So I think, but the Cardinals are bad.
And
I think
they're different with Kyler. They're different.
Yeah, but
that's the only guy.
What team was it again? Who did they fucking play? The Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Which are not a terrible team.
They're pretty bad.
They're not good.
But the Texans aren't good either.
But they're not bad. I mean,
are the Texans better than the Falcons?
Yes. Very much so.
Yes.
Very. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is hard.
The Falcons don't have a quarterback.
In my eyes, I'm trying to, because I feel like this is an obvious Texans pick by the Discord, and I have to like measure which picks I can get away with to gain ground on the Discord, because I can't just pick the team that is, I'll just tie the Discord in every pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need to sneak some in there. I'm gonna go Cardinals. I'm gonna sneak one in there.
He's doing it.
I'll go Texans.
Garfield went Texans as well, and I honestly I'm torn here too, because I'm hyped on CJ Stroud as well because he's killing it. But I'm pretty sure Kyler's still like at his best, maybe like a top 10, even top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
Cowboys, Panthers, Cowboys, everybody.
Cowboys.
No one insta-locked that? Are you insane?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I already locked the Lions. I mean, I would.
I'll take it. Yeah, fuck it.
I locked mine because I didn't want to have to fight over this. But if you guys, I mean, I would have taken it for free. I mean,
go boys.
Yep. Although this out of any game in the world that looks like a trap game,
it is. I mean, Bryce Young breakout game,
right? Yeah,
goes for like 400 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Giants, Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders. Yeah, a lot of sweeps this week.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's all. And the next one will be too, actually.
Yeah, Garfield's going the same way as all of us is all these as well. Yeah, it's everybody on the same page.
Yep. Buccaneers, 49ers.
Yes, Niners, please. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, all right, good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yep.
Jets, Bills.
Bills, please.
Yeah, the Bills gotta win
They
this.
have fired Coach Buff, so I'll be taking the Bills.
Yeah,
that's a good point. They'll probably get that boost.
We were being a little dramatic about them having a playoff game last week. They still very much have a shot at the wild card.
Well,
I mean, they lose this game.
They have to win this
actually
game.
over.
This is like actually a must-win game. Like, not even joking.
Yeah, it really is actually.
Losing
well,
the last game
they'll have
made
losing
this
record,
game
right?
a must-win game.
Yeah,
well, especially with their divisional position. Like, this is 0-3 in the division if they lose this, right?
And it's 0-3 in the division. Plus, like, just the AFC being stacked. Like, they gotta win.
Yeah.
The
I'll
Jets
take
have
the Bills.
the worst red zone offense since 1991. If you lose to that, you do not deserve to make the
They
playoffs.
already lost to that, man.
They did. They threw.
If you lose to it
3
again,
picks.
If you lose to it again.
Our assistant coach of the week, though, with kind of the upset pick, he's going Jets.
Oh,
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, hey, the Jets account for about 30% of Josh Allen's interceptions this year.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
you know,
Seahawks, Rams.
Geno season.
Is Matt Stafford back?
I think it's Carson Wentz week, folks.
I'll be taking the Seahawks.
That is lockable, honestly.
I'm going to take the Seahawks. Yeah.
Another sweep.
Another sweep. Yeah,
that's another one
as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vikings, Broncos.
Give me the Broncos, man. They're on a hot streak.
Absolutely.
I kind of like the Broncos here, too. I'm going to take the Broncos.
I'm also kind of thinking we're going to do a reverse sweep here.
No, I mean, Garfield's already going Vikings here, so we're split on the initial picks here.
Man. I want to. Yeah, fuck it. I'll go Broncos. Whatever.
All right. I'm going to side with our AC mostly just for the hopes that I'm going to get a point on all y'all.
Slightly different. Yeah.
Vikings still could win this. It is the Broncos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Josh Dobbs. It's Josh Dobbs season, too.
It's true. I was tempted to declare it Josh Dobbs season as well.
I want
secondarily.
Yep.
Yeah. Like maybe another word.
I think he'd say Josh Dobbs season.
Josh, maybe we could call this. How about this? How about this is Josh Dobbs' winter?
Sure. The winter of Dobbs. Yes.
The winter of Dobbs.
The winter of Dobbs.
Winter of Dobbs. And then Eagles, Chiefs.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, we got an interesting. Wow. Oh, I would love the lock on the Chiefs from Garfield here, too.
I think this game goes one of two ways.
Especially with such a good record, too.
I'm going to look like a fool if I get this wrong. I think this game goes one of two ways. Either the Chiefs win a close one or the Eagles blow out the Chiefs. I think those are the two things that will happen. I'm going to take the Chiefs because it's Taylor Swift buff.
Oh, the Chiefs are coming off the bye week. Andy Reid bye weeks.
Is he a bye week master?
He's like one of the best.
Yeah, Google.
Andy Reid's one of the best coming off the bye weeks. I'm pretty sure.
Why'd you have to say that, man? I was trying to
He's right.
some...
Listen to this nonsense. After 31 years as an NFL coach, Reid has a 27-4 record after the bye.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be going Chiefs, everybody. Chiefs.
That's going to be a Chiefs pick.
Fuck you, Kendor. Don't say shit like that, man.
All right.
You gotta do it.
I'm going to be honest. I was going to go Eagles, but I will take the Chiefs.
We might have another one of those rare we all pick against the Discord ones, I think, because they might pick the Eagles.
That's true.
I can see it. I mean, the Eagles on paper, the Eagles, I think, on paper are the better team overall.
I do. That's what I mean. I feel like the Chiefs have been like kind of stinky lately too.
It's mostly the Pat Mahomes show. And
the bye week guy.
That bye week record, though, especially after seeing the Niners after their bye week in this, we just read on that.
I'm telling you, I got my bye weeks picked. I'm the Andy Reid of pick 'em bye weeks.
Randy Reed time.
Randy Reed.
Oh my God!
That's canon now. That's canon. That's his last
Next
name.
week we better get a graphic with Randy, like the mustache and everything.
Yeah, we might have already gotten one of those. I feel like I've seen that already.
Do it again. Randy's picking the Bengals. Oh no, he's tied.
Oh shit.
Ah, geez, I don't get the one versus everyone now. He's picking the Browns. He's picking the Dolphins. He's picking the Lions. He's picking the Jaguars.
It'd be so funny if he also sweeps every category.
I know.
Chargers.
Oh my God.
Cardinals. Okay.
Hey, go Kyler.
Panthers. He's
done it.
Oh, Randy, lock it. You won't.
Commanders. Buccaneers.
Oh my God.
Bills.
Okay.
Seahawks.
Yep.
Okay.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Okay, if
Okay.
Randy has a history of fucking making voodoo magic shit happen with these like good versus terrible teams.
If
It
he
has
locks
happened
the
before.
Bears, I swear to
I
God.
want this Panthers lock real bad.
It would have to be 8. 8 is Panthers.
Randy is locking 4.
Bears.
Lions. Wait, did he pick the Bears or the Lions? I thought he picked the Lions.
No, I picked the Lions. I think.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you say that then, Rob? You confused me.
Because I've been hurt by him before.
Yeah, but then you said it after he already picked the team. He couldn't.
Yeah,
Couldn't
but
have
I
blocked
also
it.
don't listen to things, and my
I
brain's
know.
He
no
also
good.
doesn't listen. That's true. He's locking the Lions.
Dun,
That'll do it. Thanks for listening.
for
Watching,
that.
everybody. Check out Patreon. Here's all the patrons. I need to update the patron list actually, but I'll do that next time. Here it is. It'll be on soon. There we go. And we will see you next time. Bye bye, everybody. Pineapple under the sea.